What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday. Y'all know what that means. That means we're going to have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Eman from Eman's Movie Reviews. Welcome, one and all, to this wonderful, wonderful recap show where I sit back and tell y'all all the good, interesting news from the week in the entertainment world. Y'all, we have got a lot to talk about. We got new things from Marvel. We got some Star Wars Cap, okay, coming up. We got some TV news, some movie news. Of course, if you're joining, you know the main topic tonight is going to be Jonathan Majors and the newest developments. Y'all, there's new evidence, there's new plot twists. I mean, honestly, this whole thing sounds like a Lifetime movie, the way that the news has been developed. I am going to break all that down for you all because I've seen a lot of people talking. I've seen a lot of people, let's just say, not getting the full picture. So tonight, I'm going to give you the whole rundown, and that's going to be saved for last. So don't worry, we will get to that. But I have got to see who is here with us tonight because I really, really appreciate when y'all take the time to hang out with your boy. Let's see. We got my man Jason Rodriguez. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for being here. It's another top supporter in the building. Let's see. Ism Schism. What's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here as well. Robert, hello. Good to see you. My man John Robertson, what's up? How are you? Kimmy J, how you doing, ma'am? Thank you so much for being here. The homie Rim 17, what's going on? Y'all know the routine. Go ahead and get those likes up if you are new. By the way, if you're new and you want to make a comment on this video, guess what? You better subscribe. That's right. This is a subscribers only live chat. So all you got to do is just hit subscribe. That's all, and guess what? You get to weigh in. You get to sit here and chat with the E fam and the E crew and the E Avengers. Like you can be a part of this. Okay. You can have some fun, but you got to subscribe. You got to subscribe. You can watch for free. Subscribing is free too. And the likes are free. Look at all this free stuff I'll be giving y'all free stuff. It's crazy. But anyway, thank y'all so much for the mod squad that is handling the chat. I appreciate y'all. Look at this. We got another mod squad in the building. Kristen Pratt. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're watching Beef. Beef is good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's see. Shauna's here as well. What's going on? Good to see you. My man Reese. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Callow, what's going on? How are you? Breezy, what's up? How are you doing? My man Mike, what's up, man? Listen, it's juicy, all right. This news is juicy indeed. My man Andre, what's going on? Hey, listen, I posted this. I'm glad you taking it. I'm glad other people are in it. Y'all better go watch that show From. You better go watch From. Okay, I put the video on my channel. In case you didn't know, it's a horror mystery type of show. I put up the challenge, and it's an easy challenge. All you got to do is watch the first 8 minutes, and if you don't like it, leave it alone. If you do, if you got questions, if you're interested, if your curiosity is piqued, you got to finish the whole season. Okay, that's the challenge. So go ahead and join that From challenge because we are going to be breaking it down and talking about it over the next couple weeks. The new season starts on Sunday, and you better believe I will be here to go over it with all of y'all. Let's see. My man Gray is here. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Johnny Washington, what's up, man? Good to see you too. Also me. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Goldilocks, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for coming back. My man, Just My Opinion Reviews with the eyeballs. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. In case y'all missed it, y'all got to go subscribe to my brother right here. He's on my favorite channel list. He was just doing this, his own roundup just yesterday, actually. And you could definitely go to his channel and get a whole bunch of other great content. So y'all make sure y'all go support him as well. Let's see. Treese, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Pamela, I see you. How you doing? Good to see you. Rachel, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. The homie Rhonda, hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Let's see. Who else? Jesus or Jesus. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Come through. Let's go with the Haitian Blue. What's going on? Suck passe. All right now. Always good to see the brothers in the building. Let's see, 60 plus, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Come on now, Ms. Harper. Always great. You at work, it's all good. By the way, shout out to the replay gang. If you are watching on the replay, I appreciate you nevertheless. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to still leave your comment because we still got things to talk about, even if you're watching after the fact. So I appreciate you watching, and hopefully, don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, take some time, relax, kick your feet up, take your 15-minute break. You know what I'm saying? And then just put us on in the background. All right. But thank you so much, man. I always appreciate you. My man Didier is back. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for being here. Kid Mello, hello. Good to see you. Appreciate you as well. Tyra K, hello. I hope all of y'all had a good week. My man Nelson V is back. Hold on, time out. My man Nelson, did you watch Blade yet? You had an assignment. You had to watch Blade, and I believe you also had to watch The Raid. Matter of fact, all y'all had that assignment. If none of y'all have seen The Raid and Raid 2, it's on Netflix right now for the free. I'm gonna need y'all to do that and upgrade your lives. So let's make sure we get on that. I'm just checking in. Siobhan, hello, good to see you again. Thank you so much for being here. My man Derek Gaines, what's going on? Another top supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Latrice, good to see you too. Let's see, Allie Girl, thank you so much for being here. Connoisseurs, hello. Treble Clef, I see you. The homie Zia Latrice, how you doing, ma'am? Raymond, what's up? How are you? Thank you so much for being here on my square. What is up? My man Eric Shaw is back. Good to see you. The homie Terrence, thank you so much for being here, man. Always a pleasure. Mo Better, good to see you. My man Kenny is back. Thank you so much. Hold on, we got another one, top supporter, Deborah Rodriguez. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Always a pleasure. Theo, good to see you again. Thank you so much. Rebecca, what's up? How are you? Sean, hello. Good to see you, man. Let's see. Naisha, I think I got that right. I know we got to get into it. Now, this is not mine. This is not mine. I had to get this online somewhere. But yeah, I do dig it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Dwight, my man, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Another homie, Mod Squad, SJ Evans. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Steven, good to see you. Lavender, what's up? T-Ville, back at it. Thank you so much. Funky, I see you. Tasha, what's up? LaCurry, hello. Bost, what's going on? Corey, what's up? Edward, I see you. Let's see. We got okay, we almost at that point. Who else I see? Soto, what's up? My man Dion, I see you. Flash. Let's see. Kev, what's up? And shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. I appreciate you. Hold on, we got another Mod Squad. The homie Mara Sharice, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much. All right, guys. We have so much to get into. So let's not waste more time and let's get into it. I got a lot of topics. I ain't trying to keep y'all forever, but we got to get into this. So last week, we talked about and we heard the bad news that unfortunately Jamie Foxx ran into some sort of health issue. We don't know exactly what it was. Some people have said it was an aneurysm. Some people have said it was a stroke. Some people have speculated maybe it was a heart attack. I haven't seen any major outlets that had reputable sources or whatever say anything specific. Either way, I don't really care about the details. I'm just more concerned about the man's health. Like, how is he doing? Is he all right? And luckily we do have excuse me, we do have a minor update, and that comes from good old Martin Lawrence. He gave an update on Jamie Foxx, and he did say that he is doing better. So that is definitely good news. Again, we don't have a lot of details, but you know what? I'll take anything at this point because, as I've said before, Jamie Foxx is so great. He's a wonderful talent. I mean, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him like twice, and each time was like a straight up joy. And yeah, being just so multi-talented, it would be just a shame if anything worse were to happen to him. So I am very, very happy that he is doing better. I believe last week we also talked about how he's surrounded with family and friends, and he was responsive. So again, it is good, and I just wanted to share a little good news with that in that case. So shout out to Martin. Thank you so much for giving us that update. Let's see, moving on. I've told y'all this in the past. Netflix is sick of y'all. Netflix is sick of your cousin. Netflix is sick of your auntie, your brother, your friend, your other friend, whatever. Okay, whoever, your sneaky link, whoever's out there, they sick of them taking over your Netflix account and watching for the free somewhere else. So they have been cracking down on the password sharing because they not playing no more. So in the newest development, what they are doing is they're giving y'all an option. They like, look, it's cool. You want to let them watch? That's fine. But it ain't gonna work out the way you think it is. Because now Netflix is gonna expand and they're going to crack down in the US in the second quarter with paid sharing plans. It says here that they're aiming to convert freeloaders borrowing someone else's password in revenue generating subscribers. As part of Netflix's crackdown on customers sharing passwords with people outside their household, the company plans to start blocking devices after a certain amount of time that attempt to access a Netflix account without properly paying. It says the paid sharing program will debut in the second quarter in the vast majority of countries where Netflix is serviced. They did start that off in others, smaller countries, but now they've moved over, and basically the US is next. It says here that Netflix launched buy an extra member option. So we don't really know what the prices are going to be for that yet. But at the same time, just be on the lookout for this. I told you they sick of y'all. They not trying to lose no more money. Even though what's ironic, when they started doing some of this, they lost some subscribers, But by the way, Netflix got some type of nerve to try and like pull up on people when that whole Love is Blind fiasco happened. Oh my gosh. Like I don't even watch Love is Blind like that, but I saw all the news about Love is Blind and how Netflix just could not air it. They couldn't go live. I don't know who told them to go live in the first place, but people was like, so you gonna not go live and have technical difficulties, but you gonna crack down on us and because you want your money on time. Anywho, let me know what you think, about this password sharing crackdown. How do you feel? Does this affect any of your relationships with your friends, family, sneaky links, and etc. who are out there? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's see. Next up, we have Twilight. Now, Twilight, golly, when did Twilight come out? Was that the early 2000s or something? I don't remember. But besides the book series, the movie series has been a huge thing for its time. I want to say it got like almost 3.6 billion with all three movies. I watched, I think, like two of the three movies. And there was that whole team, vampire team, Edward, whatever. I don't know. I didn't care. It wasn't for me. But apparently, piggybacking off of the big successful books and on the movies, now a Twilight TV series is in the works. And it is going to get a television treatment. Now, we don't know anything else. We don't know what it's going to cover, how deep it's going to cover, where it's going to go, or anything like that. But at the same time, it is going to go ahead and give you guys some more Twilight. So if any of you are fans of Twilight, please let me know, how do you feel about this? Like, does this excite you? Because I mean, we just got news that like the Harry Potter series is getting a TV series as well. We know Game of Thrones, based off of the books and stuff, they're getting TV series. Well, Twilight is joining in. A lot of times these studios want to cash in on these IPs. I mean, listen, for me, in my opinion, I think this is a little too late, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't even know if the books continue. I don't know if they're still popular. I don't know. Maybe they'll find a new audience. I don't know. But y'all let me know. Are you interested? Do you want to see it? Will you give it a chance? Will you check it out? Maybe you need a trailer. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Real quick, I do want to give a quick shout out to that is funny. My man Terrence. Brother, let me send some love back. Thank you so much for the $20 Cash App. This man said, This is $20 going to the Jonathan Majors Defense Fund. That is funny. Thank you, brother, so much for the donation. That was really cool. Yeah, I mean, he gonna need something. He gonna need something. Let's see. We gonna move. We moving. I love it. So Sonic the Hedgehog. In case y'all didn't know, this was probably it's no longer one of the top video game adaptations because that right now belongs to Super Mario Brothers. But the Sonic movie, I mean, this to me was more of a win for fans because it was one of the few times, if ever, that studio said, "Hey, you want this?" And fans was like, "Nah, we don't want that. Go back and cook it again. Go back and put it back in the oven and fix that up." When they showed us the ugly Sonic face, and then they went back, they was like, "Look, we heard y'all. We gonna go back. We gonna fix his face. We gonna make it closer to the game." And they did that, and the movie was successful. And I liked it. I liked the first Sonic movie. I thought it was solid. And then the second movie came out. I didn't like it as much because, once again, if I'm going to a Sonic movie, I don't care about the human drama. You can show me again. I don't care if it's Transformers, if it's Godzilla and Kong or whatever. I don't need humans as the centerpiece. I don't care about y'all because I see y'all every day, all the time, and everything else. If it's a Godzilla movie, I want Godzilla. If it's a movie about Transformers, I want Transformers. If it's about Sonic, give me Sonic. Either way, they still decided that because of the success of the first movie, and I don't think the second one flopped, they were going to do a spinoff movie. And of course, they were going to do another sequel, right? So right now, that sequel was the spinoff was going to be for one of the newer additions in the second Sonic movie, and that was none other than Knuckles. Yes, that's right, Knuckles, who was played by Idris Elba, and he is going to be getting a spinoff series called Knuckles at Paramount Plus. And these are the updates that we have about that. Let's see here. Hold on one second. It says the live action Knuckles series starring Idris Elba at Paramount Plus has assembled its cast. Let me make this a little bigger for y'all. So we are going to be getting Adam Pally back, and Tika Sumpter is going to be returning as well. It says the film takes place between the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic 3, which we haven't gotten yet, which is slated to hit theaters December 20th, 2024. In the series, Knuckles agrees to train Wade, Adam Pally's character, as his protege and teach him the ways of the warrior per the official logline. Let me just say right now, I don't care. I don't care. And the only reason why I don't care is because I did not need them interacting with humans anymore. If you were to tell me that this Knuckles series was going to be about Knuckles, his origin story, maybe how these other hedgehogs and all this other world building works, now you have my attention. But if you sit here talking about, yeah, we about to take this cool character, Knuckles, played by this great actor, Idris Elba, and we gonna have him tag team and train the character probably most of y'all didn't even know existed. Do y'all know who Adam Pally played? Like, did y'all ever say, like, you know what? I need more of this character. This is not a diss towards Adam Pally. I'm just saying his character, the deputy, did we need more of him? Did we really need, like, that was necessary? Somebody in the boardroom was like, you know what? Knuckles and the deputy, that's going to be the moneymaker. It is? I guess. Listen, I'm not too excited about it. But we will have to see, I suppose, how that works and where it goes. But maybe some of y'all are more excited about it than I am. I don't know. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think I have to do some thanks here. My goodness. Michelle, thank you so much for the $30 Venmo. You say thank you for your great reviews. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That I can't tell you how much that That really matters. Thank you so much for that. Um oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I just got to one of the actors on just shared the From challenge on Twitter. So that was kind of cool that I saw that right there. It was Victor. Y'all know Victor. Victor Weird on the Weird and Mysterious on the show. But the actor, retweeted my stuff. That was kind of cool. Let's see. Okay. What else do we have? Again, thank you, Michelle, for that Venmo. I really appreciate you. Y'all movie, Fast and Furious. That's right. As you know, Fast X is coming out. Like, I literally just got an announcement about the screening coming up. So yay. But Fast X, in case you didn't know, Justin Lin, who was part of the franchise earlier, dropped out, just took a look at that script and was like, He looked at the production, was like, I'm good. No thank y'all can keep y'all millions. I don't want it. And as we talked about last week, Luis Leterrier or whatever, he was the guy that did Now You See Me. They got on the phone, called him up, and was like, yo, you want this job? And he, like, the next day he was on a plane, and in 4 days, apparently this dude was like, yo, the third act is a mess. Let's rewrite that. Then he was like, well, if the third act sucks, we got to fix the first act. So then he was like, all right, let's rewrite that. And it's like, well, if the third and the first, okay, now let's just rewrite the whole thing. Let's just rewrite the whole thing. Okay. So now he is taking care of Fast X, that's 10. And what was supposedly going to happen was that Fast 11 is going to be, I don't want to say a part 2, but let's just say it's going to continue whatever happens in Fast X. And supposedly it's going to like end the Fast and Furious franchise. That's cap. Okay. That's cap. Because we know good and well Vin Diesel ain't finna let this train die at all. Now, I don't know where they're gonna go with it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some other franchise, some other spinoff. Maybe they're gonna do kind of sort of Fast and Furious. I don't know, but ain't no way that they about to sit here and not cash in on this after Fast 11. But the update that we have is that they have actually already found a new director for Fast 11, and it is none other than the same guy that's doing Fast X. That's right, Luis Leterrier is going to be doing Fast 11 as well. I don't know who else they was going to get for this, but that's what he's going to do. It says here that he is staying in the Dominic Toretto family. He also did The Transporter. He's going to serve as the director for the next film and the grand finale of the Fast and Furious franchise. The new project will serve as a companion film to Fast X and the 10th title in the Vin Diesel series, which opens May 19th. That's right. They couldn't find nobody else. So they said, hey, you here now, right? Like, you want to do the next one? Why not? Right? Like, why not? So, yeah. Is this good news? I don't know. Is it bad news? I don't know. I like The Transporter, and I really like Now You See Me. Can he come in and, I don't know, bring some sense into Fast and Furious? I don't know. I'd hope so. Like, can he come in and, I don't know, have them use the laws of physics and obey them? I don't know. I'd hope so. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if he's going to be a difference maker or not, but yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think. Does this excite you? It sounds like, they got another they got the same director. He's doing X and 11. Y'all like that, right? Right? Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's go. We moving. Oh, okay. Now, a while back, I had told you guys about this with the writer's strike. About 15 years ago, when this happened, this was a game changer. This was not something okay. Basically, the Writers Guild of America, basically the guild for writers in Hollywood, came together. They was like, look, we ain't playing with y'all. Y'all need to pay us. And when Hollywood, so the producers and the studios and stuff like that, when they was like, nah, we good, the writers was like, good luck. And fantastic shows like Heroes on NBC suffered. The Wire suffered. I just started thinking about another fantastic show that was so good. Did y'all remember the 4400 on USA? Oh my God. If you watch the first 2 seasons of the 4400, that show had so much potential. Oh my God. And then the writer strike happened, and season 3 was terrible. It went down in flames. So, again, this writer strike is not something that we really want. It will hurt us. Okay. I'm saying us, the audience. One of the fundamental things that can kill anything, kill any movie, any TV show is bad writing. I don't care what actor is in it. I don't care what shiny type of action scene they got in there. If the writing is terrible, you will clock out. Okay. Or that movie's not going to have legs. People will watch the spectacle and walk away and never care about it after that. So the writers are the backbone of a good, strong TV series or a movie. So the last thing we need is a writer's strike. Now, just to kind of update from last time we talked about this, the Writers Guild, they basically had to have a meeting on whether or not they would strike in the event they can't come to an agreement. And unfortunately, it looks like now they did come together and they have voted to strike. Now, let me give you a little context. It says the WGA came back with an overwhelming vote in favor of a strike in the event that the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers do not reach an agreement by the May 1 expiry of the current contract. So out of like all the members, 9,020 were in favor of a strike and only 198 opposed. Now I've gone over all this the details about this in one of my last chats, live chats. Again, the dynamics have changed. Now you got streaming. TV is not the same as it used to be 15 years ago. The contract is expiring. And unfortunately, when the when the strike happened, that was kind of around the time when we started getting, and I'm not going to go into it again, but that's when we started getting like shows like Flavor of Love and so on and other reality shows. Yeah, because we didn't have writers. So we just had stuff that was like reality TV was taking over. And I mean, it was cool for a little bit, but reality TV stopped being real reality once we started getting so much of it, right? So I'm just saying right now, I'm hopeful and I'm really hoping that they find some sort of agreement by May 1st. That's not that far from now. That's only a week or so from now, because we cannot deal with Tiger King Unleashed. Like we can't. It was fun. It was one thing during the pandemic. We can't keep doing that. Okay. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think about the writer strike. I mean, again, they're not going to strike, but if they can't reach an agreement, they voted to strike, and that's not going to help anybody. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. By the way, we just got a brand new teaser that just dropped. I told y'all about this. I mentioned this before, that now Godzilla and King Kong, they have a new movie coming out. Now, in case you missed it, Warner Brothers is trying to develop the monster verse, right? And that includes obviously King Kong, Godzilla. We had Godzilla versus King Kong. I was still on Team King Kong. I thought he got gypped or whatever by Godzilla in the last movie, but it is what it is. But the two famous monsters are basically going to be the head of this franchise, and they're going to keep on going. And now they have a new teaser that just dropped, and it revealed the new title for the upcoming movie. So let's go ahead and get ready to watch that. All right, let me get myself together here. All right, I have that loaded up. Yeah, I think I do. Just a FYI for anybody on the replay, if you don't see this, that means Warner Brothers decided to cut and demonetize. So I'm gonna trim it out. But we are going to check this teaser out and see what they got cooking. Let's go. That's a lot of bones. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Short, to the point. I'm down with it. Looks like there's gonna be a new monster, like whatever this is. I mean, this thing looks kind of ape-like. Let me make this a little bigger for y'all. It looks a little ape-like. And I see the little blue glowing eyes, so that looks like that's gonna be interesting. Of course, it's sitting on the throne because one of the things that these monsters want to do is basically rule all the other monsters. So apparently this one is sitting on the throne on it's almost like a Game of Thrones version, like maybe that's the Iron Throne version of it. And you see the skulls of Kong and Godzilla. By the way, let me just say this is what I need when I talk about trailers not spoiling stuff. Do y'all realize that there's nothing in this trailer that spoils anything? All this trailer says is, guess what? Godzilla and King Kong, they about to go at it, and there's another monster, and this monster is a problem. That's it. Guess what? You have my money. You have my ticket. I will go watch it. I'll go check it out. I don't need y'all to show me no more nothing. Okay? And not one human being is in sight. Thank you. Thank you. I don't need nothing else. All you need to do is tell me we got two big old monsters that's about to fight on the screen. Come and pay your money. That's it. I know who King Kong is. I know who Godzilla is. I don't need no background story. I'm good. Let's go. So anyway, with this trailer, I like the fact that, again, that's again good marketing. Right now, are Godzilla and King Kong dead? No, they're not. But maybe this monster has taken out other versions of them. I don't know. But what so it's called Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. I like that. But this is the thing that got my attention. What's up with the shiny eyes? What is up with these shiny eyes? Because what I'm wondering right now, is, does this mean that whatever type of ape-like creature this is, by the way, this kind of looked like a Yeti, like maybe this is Sasquatch or something. Like that would actually be kind of cool. If it was like, yo, we found Bigfoot or the Yeti or something like that. That would be kind of cool if they added to that. But this right here, the fact that my man got his own little power up and stuff, does he have the same powers that Godzilla has? Could this be? Now, I've told y'all before, I don't really like mirror villains, but this could be interesting. I might make a pass for this. If you mean to tell me that there is an ape-like creature that can have the abilities of King Kong, but can breathe fire, breathe radiation or whatever, like Godzilla, you have my attention. I mean, I'm already lowering my expectations because this is just a big monster fighting movie. That's all I needed in the first place. But King Kong with fire breath, I can go with this. I can mess with this. So I'm interested. I like it. And we do actually have a bit of a synopsis that was released, just to kind of give us an idea of what this movie is about. Let me see if I could bring it up for you guys. There it is. It says here, the latest entry in the MonsterVerse franchise follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla versus Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. The new epic film will delve further into the histories of the Titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. Okay, like that sounds like a winner to me. Again, as long as you don't sit here and pepper me with all these human nonsense. The only thing I need human beings for in these movies, the only thing, just translate some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the supporting background people. Be like, uh-oh, they mad. Okay, thank you. I think the Godzilla is hungry. Okay, thank you. Or, shout out to Ken Watanabe, let them fight. That's all I need. That's all I need in all of these things. Don't need humans for nothing else. Don't talk to me about no family drama. Don't talk to me about no, all the government, this. I don't care about none of that. I just want to see these monsters fight. So anyway, now that you've heard the synopsis, now that you've seen the teaser trailer, what do you think about Godzilla X Kong? How do you feel? Let me know. Does this trailer do anything for you? Do you need to see more? Do you not need to see anything? Are you sold already? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Speaking of which, we got my man Didier right there. So is this the good version of Rampage? Yeah, that other version was hopefully. I mean, I like Kong Skull Island. Tom Hiddleston was great in it. Sam Jackson was cool in it. Like, I really enjoyed that. The Godzilla versus Kong, it was okay. I know it also came out during the pandemic. I think I had to put on a full bodysuit, the hazmat suit, because that's when the pandemic was first coming out. But I did go out to see it. Yeah, hopefully it's better. Like, anything could be better than Rampage at this point. Anything could. But y'all let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. We might have a Batman director, y'all. So in case y'all didn't know, James Gunn has taken over DC. He has his own division where he is president or whatever with Peter Safran. And he announced that they were going to do Batman the Brave and the Bold. That was going to be one of the movies that they were going to do coming up probably in the next 2 years or so. And but the thing is, nobody knows anything else. Nobody knows, who's cast in it. No one knows who's going to direct it. But we did get at least some rumors thrown recently, where somebody asked some popular directors if they'd be down for it. And look, this is a good set of directors to ask. The Endgame directors, aka the Russo brothers, have said that they're open to direct the new Batman movie in James Gunn's DC universe. In an interview, they said, "We don't get asked a lot about DC characters." The other brother says, "Obviously, James over there running it, it would be a no-brainer. We love him to death, and we love the direction he's going to take that world in. He's going to be interviewed. He's going to be inventive with it. And favorite DC characters, man, there are so many good ones. I've always answered I always answer based on the comics I collected as a kid. And the two comics I collected the most were Spider-Man. Actually, the three were Spider-Man, X-Men, and Batman. But there have been a lot of iterations of Batman, so I feel like that's an obvious answer. The other brother goes back and says, but it's hard not to answer that. Here's how you know we haven't actually gotten literal about it and specific about it, because yeah, Batman would be my favorite character for my entire childhood, but obviously it's been well explored. So are they saying they're gonna do it? No, because let's be honest. The Russo brothers have been incredibly busy doing other things. They are producers at this point, and they have directed a couple other things, Cherry being one of them. It's a little unfortunate because notice what they said, right? Endgame directors, like their legacy is still tied to the MCU. And for good measure, right? Like Endgame only made like a couple $1 billion. But they haven't exactly been able to live up to the hype yet. But could they do a Batman movie? I mean, DC, do you want a $1 billion? Like, I think if James Gunn came out and was like, you know what, we got the Russo brothers and they about to do the next Batman movie, I don't think anybody's gonna hesitate. I wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, I want to see what you finna do. I want to see what you do with this, how you go about it. You have my money, So are they gonna do it? I don't think so. I mean, think about the fact that the Russos also have said in the past, if they were to ever come back to Marvel, they would do Secret Wars, right? Well, Secret Wars is not going to be directed by the Russos. Like they already have a director. So that kind of sucks. So I'm not putting too much into this, but I do like the fact that they've thrown their names out there by just saying we like it. I like the headline. I know ain't no way that James Gunn didn't see that, So hey, throw their name in the running. I just think off of the name alone and their history alone, whether it's a good movie or not, that would be a great pairing just to see if they still got it. But anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about the idea, potentially, hypothetically, if the Russos were to come in and do a Batman Brave and the Bold movie for the new DCU? And by the way, this would be with Batman and his son Damian. So y'all let me know what you would think. Would you like that? Would you maybe want a different director, maybe someone unknown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What we got? Real Anarchy. My goodness, thank you so much for that contribution. That's so kind of you. God and Kong and Godzilla about to fight the Beast, the intelligent Titan. Ooh, yes. That's a good. It did look like Beast from gosh, what's the anime called? Attack on Titan. It did look like the Beast right there. So that's a good eye. That's a good eye right there. It definitely does look like that, and that would be kind of cool if they did that. But thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hold on. What else do we have? Oh, okay. We're gonna keep this. Wait. Yeah, let's move this up. Let's talk about this now. Because speaking of the Russo brothers, now, as I mentioned before, Infinity War Endgame, that was peak movie. It was an event, right? Like the movies were fantastic. It was something we had never seen before. We had never seen two movies cap off a 10-year journey. We never seen that. So now that we have that, and now that we're here, it's one thing to kind of look back and be like, man, that was great, but what could have been? Well, it turns out there was a lot more to Infinity War and or Endgame that we did not get. And I know that like the movie was long. I know that it was like 2-3 hours, whatever, for each movie. But when you had something that great, I don't think anyone cared. I know I didn't care. I sat there. Look, I went to the bathroom before. You know what I'm saying? I had my bathroom break. I rested. I had a good night's sleep before. I was ready. Okay. But apparently Marvel has robbed us. Marvel has robbed us of something great. And I don't like it. Avengers Infinity War had a 45-minute deleted scene focused on Thanos getting the Power Stone. That's right. In case you don't remember, back when Infinity War started, when it kicked off, before Thanos gave Hulk a little night sleep, a lullaby and some chamomile tea, we saw this man have the Power Stone. Nobody knows where he got it from. No one knows how he got it. But apparently, they shot a whole 45 minutes of how he got the Power Stone. This ain't no little 2-minute deleted scene. This was 45 minutes. And this is coming from Jim Starlin, who, by the way, was I believe was the guy who created it, right? And he said, about a month before the movie came out, I got an email or something from Joe Russo saying the 45 minutes of Thanos that we had at the beginning of Infinity War, we had to cut it. There was a whole sequence of him getting the first gem, and they had to cut that out. They shot it, but they never wanted to spend the money on the effects, and they didn't want the movie to be as long as the second one, Endgame, was. They didn't realize it was going to be quite the hit that it was. Damn it, Marvel, release the Thanos cut. I would say this. Marvel, you owe us. After the lackluster phase 4 of the entire MCU, the least you could do as a I'm sorry, as a piece of an apology, as a look, let me make this up to you. Release the Thanos cut. I don't care how long it is. It will allow viewers to go back to that nostalgic moment where Marvel was hitting on all cylinders. How much is it going to cost you? 10 million, 20 million, 30 million? I mean, DC gave Zack Snyder 30-something million dollars to go and finish off the 4-hour Snyder cut, the Justice League cut. How much money is it going to take you? How much is it going to cost you to just go ahead and finish off those special effects that have already been shot? Finish that off. Put that where it needs to belong in the front of the movie. And here's the thing. Let me help y'all. Put it back in theaters. Put Infinity War back in theaters with the Thanos cut version and do Endgame right after that. You don't think you're going to make that money back? You don't think people going to go back to the theater to see 45 minutes of footage? This ain't something to drop on Disney Plus. You put 45 minutes back, I'm going to the theater because that's damn near another movie. 45 minutes? That's that's a whole special. That's a whole Disney Plus special. Put that on, tack it on. I don't care if Infinity War is 3 hours long. I will go watch it. And then I'm going to go watch Endgame right after that. Y'all going to make y'all money back 10 times more. And guess what? Your box office numbers going to climb up too. They're going to climb up too. I don't know what they're doing. Y'all let me know in the comments. Would you go back to the theaters right now if Marvel said, you know what? We're going to put the money down. We're going to go ahead and invest. And here's the thing. You ain't got to rush it. Don't rush it, because we've seen what happened when y'all rush with them VFX. We see what happens with that and all the problems. Take your time with it. But dang it, release the Thanos cut. That's like literally one of the best things y'all ever had. And you mean to tell us that y'all had more? You mean to tell us that Y'all didn't realize how good that stuff was before. It came out, blew all these expectations, made all this money, and y'all still sitting on gold? Why don't y'all like money? I don't understand this. Don't get... Y'all let me know if y'all would go see it. I'm there. I'm there. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know who said that. Nah, we don't need this. But yeah, I do feel like Marvel robbed us. But y'all let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Tony, thank you so much. I'm just surprised they didn't get Neil Marshall to direct DC Swamp Thing. He honestly would have been perfect for it, just with his filmography. Now, are you talking about the movie Swamp Thing? Because they got James Mangold to do Swamp Thing. I'm very okay with James Mangold doing that. James Mangold is this is the guy who directed Logan, for those of y'all that don't know. I'm very, very okay with James Mangold taking over Swamp Thing. You know, and that's no shade to Neil, but if you gave me the option, I'm going with James Mangold. That's just me. But thank you so much for that, Tony. I appreciate you so much for the contribution. Really means a lot. Didier, what you got? Hear me out. Release the Thanos Cut right before they do a Nova movie. Genius. In case y'all didn't know, the Nova Corps were the people that had the Power Stone, which means that big old army that was sitting there in front of what was it, in Guardians, in the first Guardians movie, Thanos said, "Move over." I want to know, how the hell did Thanos get through all of that? Because when he went against Gamora's planet, it was almost like they laid down. You know, I'm sure it was a decent fight, but you know, but this right here, this is, yes. Show us that. And maybe if y'all slick with it, or if y'all was slick with it, let me add on to this. Let me add on. See, this is why I love talking with everybody on here, because we finna collab. Okay, they gonna have to pay all of us. Throw in an extra bonus credit scene at the end of Infinity War and use that to tease Nova. Come on, that's it. That's it. How is that not going to be an even better? No. I take that back. Put that Nova credit scene at the end of Endgame. That way, there's more motivation to watch both movies. I will go back and watch it for the Thanos Cut, and I'll stay for the end of Endgame to see that little Nova preview. Marvel, here's your money. Here's your money. Come and get your money. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, this is easy. This has to be the easiest thing Marvel could ever do. The easiest cash grab. I don't really like cash grabs, but damn it, when they make sense, and if it's something that I would actually buy, I can't be mad at that. Whew, man. Good stuff, Didier. Thank you so much for that, man. Listen, we're gonna have to tag team or something and just let Marvel know, like, y'all slipping. Because this is slam dunk. This is slam dunk. I don't get it. Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate you. Let's go. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and stick with a little Marvel. Let's stick with it. And kind of convert a little bit with Star Wars. Now, Star Wars been capping. Okay. They've been capping for a long time. I mean, we've been having to go back and forth with Kathleen Kennedy, where this lady will sit here and be like, hey, this person's going to write this movie. Hey, this person's going to direct this movie. Hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And don't nothing happen. Don't nothing happen. We recently got word that, you know what, we're going to get another trilogy happening. And that's great. That's great. I'm here for that. I still need to wait and see and believe it, you know, because I've been pushed and pulled and tugged around before, right? Y'all been saying all this stuff before and ain't nothing really happened. But I'm gonna need y'all to come and get y'all girl Kathleen Kennedy. I'm gonna need y'all to come get her. Because one of the things that was like talked about was that supposedly Kevin Feige was going to either produce or direct his own Star Wars movie. Now, Kevin Feige, in case you didn't know, is a Star Wars nerd. He is a nerd, okay? And I mean that respectfully. Like, as much as he loves Star Wars, Marvel, he probably likes Star Wars more, okay? He probably likes that more. So the idea of him doing a Star Wars movie sounds great on paper. That sounds great. But apparently, we've been lied to, according to Kathleen Kennedy. Okay? So apparently, we have been lied to about the Star Wars thing with Kevin Feige. So according to her, I wanted to read what she said. She said Kevin Feige's project was something announced in the press, or I suppose fandom, but there was nothing. Nothing ever got developed. We never discussed an idea. As everybody knows, Kevin's a huge Star Wars fan, and if he did come up with something, I would be all ears. But that's never really happened. So it's not an abandoned project. It just didn't happen. You sure? You sure? Because you know the internet don't forget. And the internet stay with receipts. And my only question is this. If you mean to tell me that this never existed, because now you playing the WB Snyder Cut game, why for come did we have a whole situation where there was a whole script that was being developed? Yes, that's right. Let's go back to the footage. Yes, y'all remember this back in the day? What was it? This was a couple years ago. Back in June 2021. Boy, I tell you, the internet don't forget. Loki's head writer, Michael Waldron, was talking about what it's like writing a Star Wars movie for Kevin Feige. But I thought it didn't. I thought it didn't exist. How does it not exist if Waldron was writing for Kevin Feige? I am confusion. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't get it. This ain't a good look. How you gonna sit here and say it don't exist, but then it exists? What did he say here? Waldron said, I love Star Wars, and that's really exciting. I'm excited to keep working with Kevin, and I'm excited to work with Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy. Hot diggity dang. He even name dropped her. Ooh. Yikes, bro. But hey, it doesn't exist. Nothing happened. Nah, we was just playing, right? I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Star Wars needs to stop talking. That and again, I say before that Kathleen Kennedy is a fantastic producer when you look at her track record. Her track record is impeccable. I mean, when you look at like a lot of the movies that she has been in charge of, that she's greenlit, she's a legend in the industry. I don't know what happened when she stepped into Star Wars, but that thing has not been as reflective, as legendary as her resume has proven out to be. So, now don't get me wrong, her TV track record with Star Wars is great. She is the one that put the money team together with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. In Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, that is all Kathleen Kennedy. I give her props for that. She did a fantastic job. And by the way, she's diversified Star Wars on the TV level. Nothing too crazy, but just on that. So, But the movies, not so much. Not so much. So yeah, I don't know why she was capping like this. This ain't a good look. I don't. Again, just you know, I don't. Kathleen, what do you know about the Kevin Feige movie? You know what? It's not in development. You know, it's a great idea, but not in development. Next question. Okay, that's all you had to say. Doesn't exist. She forgot the internet existed. Y'all let me know what you think about the fact that you know, uh we kind of sort of had a Kevin Feige movie that existed but didn't exist to them. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. What we got? Nelson, what you got? Also, Cap taking back the stones. Yeah, you know what? The Cap taking back the stones, that would not be a bad thing, but I'm also thinking to myself, like, how much you have to give us something more than just that, because right now the sound of it sounds like just a quick Disney Plus special, and I don't think Chris Evans, and given what he's going to ask for to come back as Cap, because that's money right there, right? Like, he ain't no chump now with his pay rate going up and stuff. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to come back for a little 60-minute special showing that, unless it's like an actual movie. And my thing would be, if you make it a movie, I think it would be more helpful if that movie added more to the MCU than just telling you stuff that we already know and assume. Obviously, he gave those stones all back. But, you know, did the TVA get involved? Did he meet up with Kang the Conqueror? Do we get to find out like what happened to him and Peggy? Like, you're gonna have to give us way more than just I put the stones back in a sneaky little way. That's all I'm saying. So I'd watch it. I'm down for it. But because of the time that's passed and because of how long we are away and apart from Infinity War and all that and Endgame, you're going to have to add some more meat to that bones right now, because right now I don't think it's going to have the same punch that a lot of people think. Prince, what you got? Use the Thanos cut at the beginning of a Nova movie. You know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, good idea. Good idea. That would be an interesting way to get interest for the Nova movie. I think that's equally just as good. I'm just saying, I think they'll earn more money if they put Infinity War back in theaters and stuff like that. But because Nova is a really unknown character, putting someone like Thanos, reusing that card, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, and you could totally do that. So I like that idea. Thank you so much for that. That was really good. That's a good logical idea. For those of you that don't know, Nova is like the last survivor of the Nova Corps that Thanos decimates. So that's why Nova would have it would be a good launching pad for his origin story. Natalie, what's up? Did we talk Majors Chevalier movie? No, we have not gone over that. So in case you are just joining us, for anyone just joining, we are going to dissect and break down all the new developments in the Jonathan Majors story. That's going to be a little bit later at the end of the show, so please stay tuned for that. I'm not going to talk about the Chevalier movie, even though I am a huge fan of the actor Kelvin Harrison. He is fantastic. But that's not something really on my radar at this moment, and I got a lot of other news I got to go through. But it does look good. It does look good. But yeah, Jonathan Majors is coming up very, very soon. What else we got coming up? We still got more Marvel news with the Fantastic Four and some other stuff. So we're gonna get there. Don't you worry. Matthew, what you got? New shirt idea. Why for come? The internet remembers. Released the Thanos cut. Majors done lost majorly. Prayers and positive vibes for Jamie Foxx. Thank you so much for that. Love it all. Love it all. The internet remembers. I do like that. I think that'll be a dope shirt. I like that. That's a good idea. because it stayed remembered, like receipts and everything. But thank you so much for that. Nelson V, what you got? Catherine saying it's above me now. pretty much. Yeah, I don't. She needs to stop. I'm just like, I don't get it. Why you keep talking? Every time you talk, it doesn't pan out very well. Or just get somebody else to do it. Just like, I don't know. Anyway, so we are not going to get off the Star Wars thing, because despite the fact that there's a lot of cap, despite the fact that there's a lot of issues, we still going to talk about one thing. And I've talked about this before. Recently we were told by Kathleen Kennedy that there was going to be a new movie coming out. This was during Star Wars Celebration. And what we were told was that the new movie was going to be part of loosely a trilogy. We don't know if it's a trilogy or if it's just going to be 3 movies at the same time. But it's going to take place 15 years later, and it's going to star Daisy Ridley as Rey, Rey Skywalker, Palpatine, whatever you want to call it. This was probably going to be a continuation of Star Wars potentially making things right. Because as I've said before, the new trilogy was trash. Overall, it was trash. It was just not good. Yes, it made a ton of money, but that's really just because of the Star Wars name. But the quality of the film was not good. The Star Wars folks, J.J. Abrams, I believe, even admitted, maybe it was a good idea to actually have a plan. Yeah, that's right. They went in with $1 billion property that was going to be shown to millions of people across the world, and they did not have a plan. And unfortunately, a lot of things that ended up happening were some of the actors got really trashed online and harassed. Kelly Marie Tran was one of those. Daisy Ridley, her character and the actress were also harassed to some degree. In my opinion, because of bad writing, because of bad direction. But one of the biggest people, in my opinion, that got done dirty was John Boyega. John Boyega, who played Finn, was done the dirtiest, in my opinion, because the marketing, the advertisement was like, yo, we got a black Jedi. Yo, everybody, this is dope. This is great. This guy matters. And you get to the movies and nothing. All John Boyega did, all Finn did was run after Rey. That's it. Just run after Rey, screaming her name, Rey, because he wanted to tell her a little old secret, Rey. And all this time, he couldn't even just tell her that he was Force sensitive. You couldn't do that while you was running? Rey, I feel the Force. Okay. First, y'all sent us off, making them think that they had some little inner, some like love story going on, but that never panned out. Then you sit here and talk about like he had the Force and he didn't want to talk to her about it, like, because reasons? Y'all wasted his character and you basically sold people a false product. And because of that, that has turned John Boyega away for a long time, away from Star Wars. And this man received like racial harassment because some people were so mad that a black guy could be a stormtrooper. Like, okay. And Star Wars was quiet, silent. They didn't say nothing about it. So this man had to take all this harassment with no backup by himself. Similarly, the same thing happened, or a similar thing happened with Ahmad Best. And Ahmad Best played Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars. This is before social media really took off, but unfortunately, the brother had gotten like some real harassment, as well, and it drove him to the point where he almost was going to commit suicide. And luckily, this redemption thing from Star Wars, because now they finally get it. They brought my man Ahmad Best back in The Mandalorian, and just kind of like redeemed him a little bit, and had him show up. I don't want, well, whatever. Third season sucks of Mandalorian. He was the one that saved Grogu and all that stuff. Great. So now this new movie, hopefully, is going to also help redeem Rey's character by Daisy Ridley. But I've said this last time. I was like, y'all gonna redeem them and them and them. What about John Boyega? And I told you before, because he was so scarred by all the stuff that happened with him before and how Star Wars left him hanging, he was like, I'm good. I'm good on Star Wars. I'm moving on. I'm good. However, things change. Things change. Y'all, there might be a little hope because there's a hot rumor right now that John Boyega might come back in the new Star Wars movie. That's right. Let's see. According to a new rumor, says here that a couple of different sources claim that John Boyega will be coming back. And this means that Boyega's reformed stormtrooper will be sharing the screen once more with Daisy Ridley's Rey. All right, all right. Listen, don't do this. Don't, now this is not coming from Star Wars. It's not official. This is coming from the Hot Mic podcast. They usually drop, credible rumors. So that's the only reason I'm even sharing it. And they're saying that, John Boyega might come back. They've been sitting at the table talking to Kathleen Kennedy. And guess what? Money talks. Money talks. And I hope, based off of what I told you before, when Ahmad Best came back to The Mandalorian, there was a lot of positive, good vibes on social media. A lot of people cheering, a lot of people happy. You didn't hear nobody complaining, this is too woke, this is wokish. And none of that. Everybody was happy. Everybody was like celebrating. I mean, I was cheering for the brother. Like, it was a good feeling to see a terrible treatment of a character or an actor, which, by the way, was not the fault of the actor. It was never the fault of Daisy Ridley. It was never the fault of Ahmad Best. It was never the fault of John Boyega. It was never the fault of Kelly Marie Tran. It was on the studio. The studio put the terrible director, the terrible writer, the terrible advertisement. This was on a top level that failed all of these people and their characters. So when we get these redemption type of opportunities, I think everybody is there for that. We all want to see these characters succeed. We want to see these actors not be harassed, especially for their race or gender or whatever, right? And I've said, like I said before, I need my man John Boyega to get some of that redemption too. This to me, this would be a great way for Kathleen Kennedy to leave, because a lot of rumors have been saying that she was on her way out, and that's fine. I get it. But if you're going to go out, at least repair some of the damage that you left. At least fix what you broke. I don't think that's asking too much. But yes, if you could have Finn come back, and look, they said that the Rey story was going to be 15 years in the future and that she was going to be looking for the Jedi and all that stuff. Listen, if my man Finn shows up and he's already a Jedi, because in the last 10 years he's been training with Rey, I won't say nothing about it. I ain't going to have no problems with that. Make my man a full-fledged Jedi, because in 10 years, I know he ain't hold on to this. I'm sorry. In 15 years, I know he's not still sitting here. Rey, I'm force sensitive. Like, I know he could tell her this in 15 years. And in those 15 years, it's not far-fetched that he potentially would have been training and that maybe he was exercising his abilities in the Force, and my man actually got his own lightsaber. So don't play with me now. Don't give me hope. But this is a prime opportunity to fix what was broken. So we will have to wait and see. But y'all let me know. How do you feel about John Boyega potentially coming back to the Star Wars features and the movies? Would you like to see this? Would you like to see him as a Jedi? Do you want to see him still? Maybe not. I don't know. You let me know what you would like to see and how you feel about this news. Or maybe, I don't know, this is all just talk. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe Boyega is like, yo, I'm good. I don't even want to play this game no more. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, we got JN. Thank you so much. Can we get some more shirt designs? Killmonger, Blade, Captain America, Sam Wilson. The We Was Kang's design is iconic. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Let me just tell you this though. It's kind of difficult sometimes. I'm not like, I'm a mediocre artist, right? Like I'm not the best of artists or whatever. The difficulty is like, it's the copywriting, because I can't. It's one thing if I can buy a shirt, like I could buy this shirt online or whatever, but in order for me to sell them, it's copyright issues, not only with the respective IPs, but also within so I use T Spring. That's the one that has the brands and stuff under the videos. Sometimes they don't greenlight those things, so yes, I might wear something, but if I can sell it, sometimes I can't, so it's not like, trust me, if I could sell everything I wear, I would, man, listen, I got kids to feed now. Okay. You don't think I sell what I gotta sell, but unfortunately it's more copyright issues that are the problems. But yeah, so if I can get around it, like the We Was Kang's one, I had to make that manually. Like that one took some time, but thank you so much for that. Trust me, I'm always gonna look and try to do something, and if I can get away with it, I got y'all. But if not, it's just it is what it is. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Quiet one, what you got? Your new shirts to say your movie was gutter booty trash. Oh, we didn't ask for this movie. Listen, I'm not. Okay, I'm just okay. I'm not even. I'm not. That's funny. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna take it into consideration. Okay, I will do that. I will take it into consideration. Because I don't want to trash movies, right? Like I don't want to trash them. Like I will if I just did not care for it, but I'll try and do it constructively, right? Like y'all know I don't sit here and trash a movie just because I don't like it. Like I tell y'all exactly why and how it was not that great to me. But that is funny. I got to take that into consideration though. Thank you. My man Kev, what you got? Finn deserves a hallway scene. Come through, yeah. Hell yeah. Give Finn a hallway scene with a lightsaber or something. Yes, he does. Absolutely. My goodness. Listen, yes. I would be totally down for that. That is absolutely what is deserved. All right, let's move on. Are we making good time? I think we are, but I say that all the time, and then all of a sudden it's like 4 hours later. So let me shut up. What else do we want to do? You know what? Let's stay with Kevin Feige. Let's stay with Feige because Feige got a new plan. And Feige's new plan is something that I think was not that bad of an idea. We've known, and I think we've all talked about, like, this is not a hot take, right? It's not some like edgy commentary to say phase 4 of Marvel was whack. It just was not as good as people had hoped. Now, I agree that phase 1 and phase 2 had some issues, right? Because outside of Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy in phase 2 was lackluster. Phase 2 was not hitting. And phase 1, I would say, with like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Iron Man was great. Incredible Hulk, it was okay, but it doesn't hold up today. They weren't as good. But what I always say is that the reason why is because our expectations were different. So the same way I said that like phase 3 is arguably one of the best. That's where we got Infinity War, Black Panther, Endgame, etc., and Thor Ragnarok. That's when they were hitting the most. It was at the peak. We hit the mountaintop of cinematic, experiential phenomenon. Like, we hit that mountain peak. Well, if you've ever climbed a peak, a hill, a mountain, whatever, guess what? You got to go back down. And that's what phase 4 was. Phase 4 was us coming back down. Yo, we had a little hike with Spider-Man No Way Home. Then we went down again. And then, Doctor Strange was like, and them cameos didn't hold up. And then Shang-Chi, okay, but then everything, Eternal, like, it wasn't a big win. We had, if you want to count the Disney Plus shows, some of them worked, some of them didn't, But phase 4 overall was not a win for Marvel. And a lot of that, I argue, was because of the Chapek era. And one of the things that I said was that, I'm sorry, not me, but like Disney at the time during the pandemic, think about this, streaming started to become the priority. Everybody was like, look, we don't know how long we're going to be quarantined. We don't know how long, but streaming is the future, right? Theaters are going away. I told you they weren't. I told y'all for 2 years, theaters weren't going away. But they believed that streaming was the thing. So they doubled down on streaming. Not only that, they cut the release window between the theaters to streaming, and they upped the production on everything. They was like, look, we need more movies. Yo, we need more Disney Plus series. More. Well, when that happens, Kevin Feige, who used to like go over all the movies and he would like make sure everything was copacetic and all smooth. You could only do so much. You one man, you one person. You can't. He was getting stretched real thin. And while he was getting stretched real thin, we started to see the quality of the movies and the shows deteriorate, and they started to fade. Now, one piece of credit that I would always give to Marvel, and this is why I say it was always stupid when other movie studios would try to copy Marvel, because Marvel, unlike other movie studios, don't operate the same way. Marvel's like other studios, they'll be like, oh, is this what's popular? All right, cool, let's do that. Oh, is this what's trendy? All right, cool, let's do that. Marvel, on the other hand, they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna try something. Oh, it worked? Okay, cool, let's try something else. Oh, that didn't work? Ooh, okay, let's try something else. Marvel's always been flexible when they succeed and when they fail. So, like, we've heard different things about how Nate Moore was talking about how he's not looking for producer or writers or people that know a lot about the comics. Now, some people will look at that and be like, oh, that's stupid. Well, I get that because we're going to watch comic book movies. But the thing is that in order to get a fresh take, you do need somebody who can think outside the box and who's not going to be confined to the source material that everyone already knows. Because I've told y'all this as well, Marvel does not make movies for us comic fans. They do not. Comic fans are a niche of a niche. Okay? Like, you have book readers and then you have comic book fans. That's a niche of a niche. And because of that, they make movies for the general audience. One of the reasons why Captain America Winter Soldier was so great and is arguably in everyone's top 5, top 3 Marvel movies is because it was the first Marvel movie that didn't act like a typical superhero movie. It acted like an espionage movie. And because it broke that barrier, it welcomed more people in, and it was very refreshing to see. So again, Marvel likes to change up their plan. We've also heard that one of the things that they were doing once Chapek left and Iger came back, that they were going to slow down on production. Again, this is one of the reasons why I was saying that Chapek era during phase 4, that was a bigger problem than anything else. Because when you have to hurry up and do stuff, the quality control lessens. So now Marvel is slowing down and we're going to get things spaced out and we're going to take our time and then we're going to let them cook. And that's great. I'm here for that. But apparently Kevin Feige also has one other thing that he's going to do. And that is he is reportedly changing his approach to how he hires directors. It was said here, according to Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast, Feige's plan is to adjust his hiring strategy by turning to already established filmmakers and creatives. He added, Feige does not want to hire more established. I'm sorry. Feige does want to hire more established talent behind the camera, suggesting the idea is to put future movies in the hands of more experienced directors. According to Justin Kroll from Deadline, he also says Kevin Feige doesn't want to oversee the entire shoot. And after not having to worry about that with Sam Raimi, he is very game for the same outcome with the shoot in Fantastic Four. And that right there, I can support that. I can get behind that because my man is basically saying, like, look, if this is true anyway, a lot of times Marvel will go get young, promising directors. So maybe somebody who only did one or two movies that they really liked, or maybe people that never did a movie, maybe people that only did Parks and Rec, like the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers were not established directors like that, but then they came in, hit us with Cap 2, Cap 3, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and they just dominated, right? Like Marvel was hitting with those rookie contracts, but sometimes it backfired. Like, yes, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. I already told y'all that was because of the Endgame effect. But those directors, they made a movie that wasn't all that good. It was not good. Like, it was not well received. It made a lot of money, but not because of how great it was. And guess what? They replaced them. So again, if this rumor is true, Kevin Feige is like, look, Sam Raimi, the guy that did Evil Dead, the guy that made arguably some of the best Spider-Man live action movies to date, he knows what he's doing. He was doing this before the MCU was popping. He was making grand hits before the MCU did anything. Yeah, if Kevin Feige needs to have a franchise director, somebody who does not need hand-holding, then go for it. And that's great. That's a great idea. Because according to another rumor, somebody had said that basically the new directors, they don't even really direct the movies. It's Marvel that directs the movies, right? That's not a good sign. Like, Marvel, why are you hiring a director if you're just going to do it your own way anyway, right? Like, just to have somebody on paper. So to have somebody more experienced would be ideal. Now, when you're talking about the Fantastic Four, I think this is a dream scenario, but this would be great for Steven Spielberg to step in. Now granted, they already have a director for Fantastic Four, but I'm saying if you want somebody that's more established, this would be a great opportunity to do that. Now they have the guy who's doing Matt Shackman. He was the one that directed WandaVision. He's the one that's going to be doing Fantastic Four, which they're putting all their eggs in a basket with that one. They really want that to be great. We'll see. But yeah, I like this idea that Kevin Feige is going to pivot and shift and get some more established directors, because again, Marvel needs better quality, and better quality is going to come if you have better people in charge and people that know what they're doing. Because at that point, Kevin Feige could be like, oh, look, Fantastic Four is in good hands because we got this person. Or Deadpool 3 is fine because we got this person. Or the X-Men movie is going to be fine because we got whatever it is. So that way, that man can go back and make sure that everything else is working just fine. So anyway, what do y'all think about this new approach by Kevin Feige to go, to kind of ditch the whole thing with the rookie directors? I mean, he'll probably still get a couple of them for different properties, but to get better, more established directors for movies moving forward, let me know how you think about that and what you think and the comments down below. Let's see, Nelson, what you got? Phase 4 quantity of MCU fans are spoiled. Yeah, no, that was the thing, right? Like, I don't, you can spoil us with quality too, though. Like, we were already spoiled with good quality movies. But like, if you just keep throwing crap at me, I don't think that's really spoiling me. I think at the end of the day, most people would rather have a few great things than many mediocre things. I think most people would react that way because, as I've told y'all before, superhero movie fatigue does not exist. It's a myth. But if you give us a bunch of mediocre movies, that's going to compel people to think that that myth is true, right? So we really need to, I don't need more. I like more, but I'm always going to take better quality over quantity. Now, if you could give me a perfect real world scenario or a perfect situation, you give me more high quality. I'll take that all day. But yeah, right now the quantity thing ain't hitting. It's just not. Rims, thank you so much. Shout out to the missus in the chat. Oh, snap, the missus here. Hold on now, where's she at? She was out with it was ladies' night. She just got her hair did and everything. Do I see her? Well, there she go. There she go. What's up, fine thing? I know you got your hair did, but let me just put my fingers through it real quick. I just want, make sure they did a good job, make sure it holds up, just I'll see you later, But anyway, shout out to the missus. Thank you so much for that. And I appreciate your rims for the donation. Thank you. Buzz 703. Good evening. I'm late. Hi, everyone. Buzz, you are right on time. Thank you, brother, for being here. I always appreciate you. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, cool. All right, we are getting there, y'all. We are good. In case you were just joining, we're still talking about some Marvel stuff, but we are about to get closer to the Jonathan Majors breakdown. Let's see. We do have some more. Okay, let's do some quick Marvel things. ScarJo, y'all know ScarJo played Black Widow for a minute, and she was fantastic in the role. But unfortunately, that is not going to be. I mean, she met her end. Unfortunately, she met her end. And with that was the end of her character. Even though we did end up getting a prequel as well. Now, the question now is, is she ever gonna come back? As Black Widow? Who knows? And she was asked about this. I think this was like an actor on actor thing, and it was her and Gwyneth Paltrow. And the two discussed whether or not their futures include new Marvel movies, although neither seemed interested. Johansson's Black Widow was killed in 2019's Avengers Endgame, but she returned for the prequel movie Black Widow. ScarJo said, "I'm done. Chapter is over. I did all that I can do. Also, coming back and playing a character again and again over a decade of time is such a unique experience." When ScarJo asked Paltrow if she was done with the movies, Paltrow answered, "I think so. I mean, I didn't die, so they can always ask me." So just right there, I think that, ScarJo's like, "Look, I'm good." Like I put it in. And here's the thing. Let's also not forget that she had a nasty little encounter. She had a nasty encounter with Disney, right? Let's not forget, during the pandemic, Disney called her all types of names. Disney threw her all under the bus. Disney was out here talking about she don't like the kids. She don't have no empathy for people that are locked up in their homes, even though they were the ones that released her movie straight to streaming at the same time as theaters, which cut the profits, which cut some of her money that she was due. So that left probably a bad taste in her mouth. Now, that was not her and Marvel. She's cool with Marvel. Feige had her back. Everybody had her back, but that was a Disney decision because of Chapek. So, she did end up getting her settlement. She got her money, but she like, look, I'm good. And I don't blame her, because think about it. If you got a good working relationship with Marvel, but at any moment, at any time, some BS can come up from their bosses at Disney, that's not a good environment to work in. Now you're going to have trust issues. Now you always going to be looking over your back like, is Disney going to screw me? Kevin, I know you're not going to screw me. I know Marvel Studios won't, but is Disney going to? So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. And not to mention as well, ScarJo is like one of the highest paid women in Hollywood. She demands a lot of money. Her pay rate goes up. Like, she's not going to come back and accept less money. That's not how actors and their pay rates work. If your rate is 15 million, you going to have to get paid that 15 million. Now, unless you get a different type of role, cameo, something like that, they can adjust it. But, you know, if you're going to show up, you got a certain rate. She started getting expensive as the when she goes out in Hollywood and does all these other roles and all these other movies and earns XYZ, revenue, she becomes more expensive. So, I'm not mad at her for that, for saying she's done. We do have Florence Pugh as the new Black Widow, I guess, with Yelena. But at the same time, you do have a multiverse. I mean, we saw Gamora die too, and she all up in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. And you never know also that when you have a huge franchise that's been suffering, like in phase 4, and you need a boost, maybe you got to go back in that well. Maybe you need to go talk to ScarJo and be like, yo, come save us. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, y'all let me know. How do you feel about, I know nobody cares if Pepper comes back. I know I'm not even gonna address it. Like, Pepper, if you come back, don't come back. I don't care. I don't care. No shade, just I don't care. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. I want to give a quick shout out to my man Reese. Thank you so much for the $1, the $1.99 super chat. I am gonna pass it just because it's, I'm not gonna try and like go back to that, but thank you so much for that, Reese. I really appreciate you, man. Then we also got Ty with the super sticker. Thank you so much, Ty, with the super sticker. Appreciate you so much. And we're going to move on. We still got some more. Man, talk about getting that money. Yo, Disney got to cut them checks. Okay, they still got to cut them checks. And here go one more. In case y'all didn't know, I told y'all before about the whole Victoria Alonso situation. Like, Marvel basically fired her out of nowhere. They said it was because of her doing some other movie as a producer, and look, it was a lot of stuff that was said. But I told y'all this thing was going to end in a settlement, and dang it, that's where we at right now. Disney has settled with former Marvel exec Victoria Alonso over the sudden firing. Says here that Disney has settled with her. She was the VFX chief, Victoria Alonso, after pink slipping her last month. While details between Alonso and Disney are confidential, there was a multi-million-dollar financial compensation. Wow. And according to her lawyer, the lawyer said the idea that Victoria was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a personal passion project about human rights and democracy that was nominated for an Oscar and which she got Disney's blessing to work on is absolutely ridiculous. Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated when she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made a really poor decision that will have serious consequences. There is a lot more to the story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Now that you have a settlement, ain't gonna be no more story. But the moment I told y'all this, and I told y'all this when this happened, when the lawyer said that that they wanted her to do something reprehensible, which, by the way, according to sources, the reprehensible thing was hiding a rainbow, which is the sign of the LGBTQ community, hiding a rainbow in one of the shops where Scott Lang was walking during the Ant-Man sequence. So again, I don't even know who would have seen it, whatever, but walking down the street in one of the corners somewhere, there was a rainbow and they wanted to blur that out. because I think it was Kuwait or some other country that basically had laws against LGBTQ stuff or whatever, and they didn't want that. And of course, Victoria was like, "Nah, you gonna show that flag or the rainbow or whatever." So again, I don't even know if that was the case. All I know is the fact that this lady was there for 17 years. She was doing the job of like multiple people. She knew where the skeletons were buried. She knew where all of that stuff was. She knows stuff. Ain't no way you gonna work there that long at that level and you ain't got dirt on somebody. And I've told y'all this as well. Disney don't play with their image. Disney will lose money before they ruin their image because their image makes them money. They don't want to ever look bad. So when she sat here and said, like, yo, when the lawyer was like, oh, yeah, they were going to do something terrible, we going to tell it. Oh, that was a tactic right there. That was like, oh, yeah, we going to tell you something that's going to drag you in the news and y'all not going to like it. So they was like, all right, look, come on to this back room. Let's work this out. And that's it. So they had to cut that check. That was it. But anyway, y'all let me know how you feel about the fact that Disney had to cut that check and settle this thing up real fast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Nelson, what you got? Was Thor 4 worth paying Chris Hemsworth? Yes, because they thought it was going to be a money grab. They were think about it. They were piggybacking off of, now in hindsight, we can say no, right? In hindsight, but at the time, you're piggybacking off of a successful sequel in Thor 3, and people like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I do, right? I don't think he was the problem. Taika Waititi was the problem. The writing was the problem. The production was a problem. The directing was a problem. Wasting Gore and Christian Bale was a problem. Those things were the problem, not Chris Hemsworth. So yeah, I mean, again, in hindsight, we can laugh about it, but ain't no takesy backsies. Like what's done is done. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Let's see who else. All right. Let's see. We got that down. Okay, let's kind of go through this quick. Another hot rumor, Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, has been speculated for a long time. Many people have been talking about like, yo, we want John Krasinski. And you know what? Marvel's like, you want John Krasinski? Cool, we're gonna give you John Krasinski. And they gave us John Krasinski just to kill him off real fast, make it spaghetti style in Doctor Strange 2. It was very lackluster. It was very uninspiring. You took a really good high and you wasted it. And it was definitely a waste of time. But nevertheless, it still was something that the people wanted. But Marvel is, again, they're really trying to stake a lot on the Fantastic Four, because in the comics, the Fantastic Four were basically Marvel's version of the Justice League. In the 1960s, that was their counter to the Justice League, right? So to counter Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, it was like, look, we're going to have the Marvel family, and that's going to be our cornerstone. Now, I've already told y'all the real cornerstone for the MCU really should be, or at least if it's not a cornerstone, the real appreciation should come to Blade, because Blade is the one that saved Marvel and made the MCU even possible. But that's another story. But they really want this Fantastic Four thing to work out. So with that said, there have been a lot of rumors about like who's been in the running, who should do it. Now, I've personally said one person I would love to see play Reed Richards would be Penn Badgley, the brother that plays in on Netflix. I think he'd be perfect. A lot of times what Marvel says is that they don't want to hire, like they try not to hire like big names, because you want somebody who doesn't overshadow the role. So again, I don't know if you had Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime playing Thanos, that would be a little problematic, right? Because Arnold at his prime was a bigger star than Thanos ever could be, right? So they usually try to get people that you might know them, but they're probably not household names. A better example, Chadwick Boseman. As much as we love Chadwick Boseman and as much as we know him, he was not a household name until he became Black Panther. Yes, we like James Brown. Yes, we like 42. Yes, we like Marshall, but those were not big blockbuster mainstream movies. People in other countries didn't know him like that. Black Panther, they knew he had the talent, they knew he had the potential. That took him off to a whole nother level, right? Unfortunately, this is the same thing that happened with Jonathan Majors. Nobody watched last Black Man in San Francisco, The Five Bloods on Netflix, which I was telling y'all he was great in. Or all these other movies. He was not a household name until he became Kang the Conqueror and he started joining Marvel, and then he started doing more mainstream things like Creed 3. So now the idea of who's going to be the next Reed Richards is a big deal, right? Who is going to be that person? Now, we've heard things from Ryan Gosling, but apparently we have a front runner, according to the latest rumors, and that is none other than Adam Driver. Adam Driver is right now the person that is in the lead for this role, according to Daniel Richmond, who is another reputable scooper. Reports that Driver is in the final talks for the role of Reed Richards, which does kind of coincide with previous rumors and reports. When I first heard this news, I kind of dismissed it. I know we talked about it before, but I didn't really care about it. And now that we're talking about it and it seems to be getting more traction, my opinion on it has probably gone from I don't care at all to meh. Like, I'm not mad at this, because at the end of the day, Adam Driver is a wonderful actor. He's really, really talented as an actor. The guy does good work. I mean, because one of my barometers, one of the ways that I try to use as a test on someone's star power is I tell myself, have I ever said, I want to go see blank's movie, right? I'm not going to bring up a certain actor that y'all love in here, but I've told y'all this too. Y'all don't be out here saying, I want to go see that person's movie. Y'all don't say that, but we ain't going to get there. I ain't going to try and stir no pots. But I actually got up and went to go see and paid money for 65, which was the Adam Driver movie with him fighting dinosaurs and all this other stuff. I paid money to go see that because one, it was a cool concept, and two, I know Adam Driver can act. He's a good actor. Now the movie was a little lackluster. It was a little whatever. But I wasn't mad, So he is definitely not one of those people, though, despite his great talent, that I would be like, oh, yeah, he's in my top 3 choices to play Reed Richards. He's not even my top 5, and he wouldn't even be in my top 10. Matter of fact, I would have rather them just go with a complete unknown. Just go with somebody completely unknown to play Reed Richards, and I would have been fine with that. Because honestly, if I really thought, I was like, if you're going to have him in there, why don't y'all just make him Doom? Make him Dr. Doom. We know he could play that role better. But, Marvel likes to do unconventional things for whatever reason, to shake it up. Personally, I think this is a miss, for now. I'm not saying that he's going to be bad in the role. That's not what I'm talking about. I think it's a miss because, and I don't know what John Krasinski's situation is, but I think it would have been dope to have John Krasinski as Reed and to have Adam Driver as Doom. I think they would have paired off very well together, because Reed and Doom, that is a classic matchup right there. And here's the other concern. Dr. Doom is not a character that you have to like see their face, but that person does need to carry the role very effectively. I think Adam Driver would have been fantastic in carrying that role, but again, it's not where we're at. But that's the rumor for now, that Adam Driver is going to be the next Mr. Fantastic. I think there were rumors that maybe Mila Kunis was going to be Sue Storm. I don't know where that's going or not. But I don't know. Y'all let me know. What do you think about Adam Driver? I mean, can you see it? Personally, I think they need to get the grays and the temples a little bit better. But y'all let me know. Can you see him as Mr. Fantastic? Does that get the people going? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Prince, what you got? Timothy Oliphant was Doom if Driver is Reed. Let me see. I think it depends on how old you want them, but like the person, whoever plays Doom, keep in mind you're not gonna see them, unless they're gonna keep taking Doom's face off, his mask off. But even if you take his mask off, like he's gonna be under heavy makeup because his face is damaged, right? I like Timothy a lot, but I don't think Timothy has that Doctor Doom energy that's needed. Doctor Doom has to be someone menacing. Doctor Doom has to be somebody that's like, they have to come and strike fear more than Thanos. In terms of popularity, Doctor Doom has to be equal, if not better, than Thanos as a villain. Like he's got to be that villain that you kind of almost mess around. I don't want to say root for, but you respect him. You respect him a lot. So I'm gonna pass on Timothy. Not saying he ain't got the talent, but I don't see it for him in that role. Now, if Mads Mikkelsen hadn't been wasted in Doctor Strange 2 or Doctor Strange the first movie, I think he would have been a fantastic Doom. Mads Mikkelsen is, oh, my God, that dude was born to play villains. But again, that would be another one. That's another conversation. But y'all let me know, who would you like to see as Reed and Doom and all of that? Feel free to jump in the comments and let me know. Talented one, what you got? Don't know what y'all talking about right now. Just dropping in to show support. Replay gang gang. Mandatory date night. Yo, love to hear that. Thank you so much. Shoot, I need to schedule a date night with my missus as soon as this is done. But thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Thank you again. Let's see. Lamar, Doom is so much better fit for him. I agree. But Marvel likes to shake it up. Look, to me, I'm just like, look, if this is gonna be your Reed, if this is the choice y'all made, y'all better hit the home run with whoever you pick as Doom. You better. You have to. This Doom has to be somebody that we be like, ooh, he's scary. Ooh, he's, captivating. He's, like that guy's got the it factor. So we'll see. Again, we will see. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I'm trying to hurry. I'm trying to hurry so we can get to the Jonathan Majors. Don't you worry. Oh, damn. Okay. We only got 2 topics left. This bothered me. Now, when I was first presented with this story, I felt I felt happy. When I first went over this story, I felt happy. So let's get into that first. John Wick. John Wick, as I've said for a long time, has been a great marker for the action genre, right? It has been something that a lot of people have come to even use as a descriptor for action movies, right? People be like, oh, this movie got John Wick action, right? Oh man, this has got that John Wick feel to it. Like, it's now, when your movie can define other movies, you've done something great. And a lot of that credit has to go to the director, who was, I believe, a former stuntman, Chad Stahelski. And Chad has been the one that has been, behind the camera doing all the John Wick movies. Which, by the way, the latest John Wick movie was a success. It was a very, very big success. And one of the things that he said in this interview was like, he shares his little bit of hesitancy about directing a Marvel movie, right? Because think about it. A lot of people have been thinking to themselves, yo, when can the John Wick director come through and do a Marvel movie? Like, that'd be great, right? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I said this before too. I was like, yo, why is he not doing Blade? Put this man in front of Blade. That's the number one thing you can do. Apparently, he addressed that. So, Chad Stahelski has shared his thoughts on potentially taking on the directing chair for an MCU project. When asked about his Blade pitch to Marvel, he remarked that he was one of the many that brought in takes on it. And the interviewer says, and you've played well, or potentially played in the world of IP before, right? You pitched Blade to Marvel Studios. And he says, I was one of many that brought in takes of it. Sure. That's the property I always thought was fascinating. I'm always fascinated by vampires and martial arts, so it seems like a good mix. What are we doing? This is, you went and talked to Marvel? You pitched them a Blade movie? Like, what universe is this? What universe? This is what we've been saying, right? This is what we've been wanting, right? Like, am I the only one that wanted the John Wick director to do the Blade movie? Am I the only one? He goes on to say, is there anything else from that superpowered world that you thought you'd be interested in doing? And Stahelski said, honestly, Blade. Blade was probably my favorite kick out of that. But like, look, I'm a big fan of that genre. I love Batman. I love the Marvel world. I love the first Iron Man to death. I love James Gunn first Guardians to death. Those are all milestones, etc. First of all, I don't even care what the rest you about to say. How did Marvel pass up on this? Excuse me for a second. Because I'm going to run this down one more time for the people that are new or you don't know the background. And I'm going to keep reminding people about this. Blade has probably been right now, on borderline the most disrespected property in the MCU so far. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say it's borderline. Blade is currently the most disrespected property in the MCU right now. Blade single-handedly in the 90s sat here and saved the entire company. It saved the company. Now, some people might say, I see some people talking about this now, that the Hulk is the most disrespected. Now, don't get me wrong. The Hulk is disrespected, but there's still opportunity for redemption. Can't say that for Blade right now, because Blade ain't even on the screen at all. At least the Hulk has got a chance to redeem himself. Blade ain't even made an appearance outside of a voice. So yes, Blade, in my opinion, is the most disrespected Marvel property in the MCU, despite saving the company and making the MCU possible. Blade was announced in the 2018, 2019 Comic-Con or whatever with Phase 4. We went through a whole phase, did all these movies, did all these shows that were announced at the same time, and Blade only got a voiceover. You got two-time, say it one more time, two-time Oscar award-winning actor Mahershala Ali sitting there. Unfortunately, getting older, my man's hitting 50, and you put him in the title role of Blade, and for 4 years, it's collecting dust. 3-4 years, we've had a terrible script. Y'all sat on a terrible script for almost a year with nothing. How dare a company that wouldn't exist sit on a bad script for so long? Now, again, I don't know all the background stuff. I'm just going off of what we know for now. How dare y'all sit on this script and it be boo-boo and nothing happens? And then the director that y'all had dropped out right before production. Red flag after red flag after red flag. And then we getting reports that Mahershala Ali, your star, your two-time Oscar winner now, so we ain't talking about no chump. We ain't talking about no actor off the street. Two-time Oscar winner is sitting here not happy with how things are going. He's looking at the script. Supposedly the script had a lackluster action scene. How dare y'all? How dare anybody write lackluster action scenes in a Blade movie? And then now we hearing that the pinnacle director of the top genre-defining action movies actually had a meeting with y'all about this property and y'all passed? If Blade does not become one of the hottest things in the MCU when it comes out, Marvel should be ashamed. Marvel should be ashamed. Because to be honest, the fact that I know this now that I know that the John Wick director actually sat in an office, pitched the story to Marvel. We're not talking about some new hot director that no one knows about. We're not talking about some, somebody that did something else from some art house nonsense or whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the person who's been directing 4 movies that have only gotten better every single time and is primarily known for action, which, by the way, the Blade character is. You mean to tell me that after y'all sat on a bad script, y'all couldn't have found a different script, and this guy literally walked up in your office, gave you a pitch, and y'all passed? So that to me tells me 2 things. One of 2 things. Either Stilinski's script was terrible. Either it was terrible or his pitch, his story was that bad, or this current director that is not a household name. It's not somebody that we can name off the top of our heads or whatever. That guy must have gave y'all some straight up platinum, not gold. He gave y'all platinum. Because right now, I'm looking at this as like an NBA draft. You had Michael Jordan that wanted to play for your team, and you said, nah, I want Sam Bowie. But that was Michael Jordan. Okay, let's see what Sam Bowie got. Okay, now here's the thing. Like I said, maybe the current director has got something fantastic. Maybe he's got some sort of vision or a pitch that blew everybody away. That I'm leaving that door open, but damn it, now my expectations for Blade have just gone through the roof, because I'm always going to go back thinking of what it could have been like if this new Blade is bad, or even if it's mediocre. If it's not great, I'm always going to think what could have been, because we had the John Wick director right there. Do you know the level of excitement people would have had? Do y'all know what level of hype would have gone into this, if the headline said John Wick director becomes the new head of Blade, do y'all know how much people will be celebrating already? I'm sorry. There was actually more to that interview, and that news in itself bothered me. Let me read the rest of the news. I know I got a job to do. Stilinski also said, I just also think that there are people that get the IP better than me. I know my sweet spot. I do better when there are no limits. I do better when I can kind of bend the rules. I like to be a little bit more subversive. So it is kind of weird. Okay. This is where I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know what? First of all, I can respect that. I can respect any director that says, you know what? I like to do things I'm more familiar with. Now, granted, the first thing he said was Blade, and the thing he pitched to Marvel was Blade. So it sounds like he knows that. But because he says he likes to have a little wiggle room, because he doesn't want to have limits, that could be a viable reason why this wasn't going to work out with Marvel. Mainly because Marvel likes to let directors play in a very controlled sandbox, according to other people anyway. We've heard from like Matt Reeves, who does the Batman, and he was like, nah, I don't want to do that with Marvel, because Marvel's not going to let me do what I want to do. They're not going to let me expand the way I want to expand. So I'm going to hope that this is more of a situation where he just doesn't have control. And if he doesn't have that control, I can understand that. I don't like it because, in my opinion, give that man what he wants. I mean, seriously, you know, my God, he would have made a rated R Blade too. Oh, I'm gonna have a real problem if this movie is mediocre. I'm gonna have a real problem with this. Okay, anywho, that is all for the Blade update. It was barely a Blade update, but whatever. What do you think about the John Wick director pitching to Marvel? Marvel clearly going in a different direction, but at the same time, the director saying like, yo, I like to do me. I don't want no handcuffs or nothing like that. No limits. Maybe we can respect that. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, let me grab these comments and then, we made good time. We are going to jump into the Jonathan Major stuff. So just give me a second here. Let's see. We're gonna keep on going. Give me a sec. So yeah, we definitely got a lot of Jonathan Major stuff to go over. So please hang tight. That is not going to disappoint, because man, the twists and turns in that story, like that stuff was coming crazy. All right, I am caught up here. Quiet one. What you got? Mads Mikkelsen or Giancarlo Esposito as Doom? I'll take either one. The only reason, you know what? No, I take that back. I won't take Giancarlo only because it depends on how old Reed Richards is. Reed Richards and Doom have to be, they were like in school together, right? So you can't have 60-year-old, Dr. Doom picking on 30, 40-year-old Reed Richards. That's gonna be kind of weird, So I would say no. Mads, maybe you could play around with that a little bit, but again, whoever you cast as Reed, you're gonna have to find his counterpart, and that's gonna be Doom. So they might be too old for the role, even though obviously acting wise, they both would kill it. They both would murder that role. But and I would also say, like, I'm fine with Dr. Doom not being black. I don't need him to be black. Like, because a lot of his origin is tied, a lot of his character is tied to the Eastern European roots, so he needs to be a white guy, like that's it. He's from the Caucasus, like that's where his people reside, so I'm fine if you make him a Caucasian from the Caucasus. So I'm okay with that. Again, I know people can act the role, but like that is just one of the main characters that I'd be like, you know what, you want to keep him white, that's fine by me. Latveria, that's where it was. So let him rule his people. It's all good. Prince, what you got? Say it again for the people in the back. I'm assuming you're talking about with Blade. Yes, I got you every single time. Baby Toshiro, thank you so much. Keep reminding people about Blade, man. I will, because seriously, it is really ridiculous that even Kevin Feige himself has acknowledged that Blade has saved Marvel. This is a fact. Everyone knows this. It's in every documentary. It's in everything. Everyone knows. And by the way, shout out to Wesley Snipes. Okay? Shout out to this man who came out here and was like, look, by the way, and he wanted to do Black Panther. This man wanted to do Blade and Black Panther, and he got stopped. But anyway, everybody knows that Blade is the thing. Everybody knows this is the way to go. But when I tell you the lack of energy bothers me, it bothers me a lot. Because y'all would never do this to the Fantastic Four. We don't have to wait another 4 or 5 years for Fantastic Four to come out. Kevin Feige would never. Nobody. They would never let that happen. Anyway. Quiet one. Hey, Daredevil got announced after Blade, and he got screen time in the MCU before Blade. The disrespect. This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm saying. Everybody's getting a chance to eat, but all Blade get is a little hello. That's all he get. We don't even get to see him on screen. That's all we get is that little thing from the Eternals that not a lot of people liked. Y'all put him into one movie that most people don't even care about. Blade is one of the most disrespected, if not the most disrespected character in the MCU right now. And y'all lucky I can even say he's in the MCU because he had that voiceover, and that's it. That's it. He's damn near non-existent. Reese, thank you so much. Made a Black Panther suit and Lego T'Challa helmet. Reese, that is awesome. Thank you so much for the contribution. I'm pretty sure that helmet and that suit look fantastic. Prince, what you got? Picture this, John Wick 2. Make John Wick Blade and the monsters and the mobsters, high table vampires. That's money. This is not hard. This is not hard. Like, Blade is not that deep. You got a daywalker. You got vampires. They fight. That's Blade. That's Blade. Okay? Blade is not that deep. Blade is dope because it's just straightforward. Blade don't like vampires. Vampires don't like Blade. When they see each other, it's on sight. That's it. It's a simple formula. If this ain't nothing more than John Wick, I don't know what else is. Thank you for that. This is easy stuff. How these people be in high positions making these decisions. Again, maybe there's some information we don't know. I'll give them that benefit of the doubt, but dang it, if this thing does not come through, I got problems. All right. Now we are here. Y'all, we got to talk about Jonathan Majors. In case you did not know, Jonathan Majors has been going through some issues. The actor has been on a very, very quick rise to stardom. I would say that a lot of that started with Lovecraft Country. But as I mentioned before, Last Black Man in San Francisco, I saw that movie and I was like, I think this dude can act. Like, this dude is pretty good. Saw him in The Five Bloods with Spike Lee on Netflix. I was like, okay, not the biggest role, but he was cool. Okay. And then movie after movie, and then Lovecraft came out, and I was like, yo, my man can act. Like, okay, Jonathan Majors is gonna be the thing. And then he came out as Kang the Conqueror, and y'all already know I've kicked up the Kang gang. We was Kangs, like, yo, we was in there, okay, because this was the thing. And I saw the potential in this man, and it was everything. And then the moment my man got on Ant-Man, and the moment he got on Creed 3, he blew up. He blew up. His stardom blew up. We saw him on magazines everywhere. He was getting signed deals. He was on the rise at that point. And well deserved, right? Like he really had to deserve to be on that rise, given like his talent and what he put out. So with that said, Jonathan Majors was probably at the peak of stardom at that point. He was the guy that, like, the hottest name in Hollywood. But unfortunately, he ran into some drama. This happened back in, it was a couple weeks ago. I want to say in March. March 25th, something like that. And the internet melted. I remember that, like, I think it was like on a Saturday night or something, that some article, TMZ or whoever, was like, yo, Jonathan Majors has gotten involved with a domestic violence situation, and everybody lost their mind. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, he's an abuser, lock him up. Other people was like, yo, it's a black man getting railroaded, like, defend him. And there's been a lot of back and forth going on, right? And I've done my best to at least report on the situation. I've been very honest about it as someone who is a fan of his, of his work, as someone who has championed him. I've met him in the 5 minutes I met him. He was an awesome, person. Like, I didn't see no Ike Turner in him. You know what I'm saying? But I've been very honest in saying that, like, hearing the news was disappointing. Not because I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it or not did it. That's not the point. I was just disappointed that he was in the news for something bad. That sucks, right? You were on the high, everybody was loving you, and then now you got some drama. And just to kind of give y'all a little context with that, you also have different layers and components to this, because one, domestic violence is terrible no matter what. And domestic violence situations are usually more complex than the average person knows and recognizes. It's not just, oh, he hit them or she hit him and blah, blah, blah. No, sometimes there are different layers, to these things. And there are a lot of twists and turns. So I'm not going to rehash everything that happened with Jonathan Majors before. I'm kind of giving y'all a little setup now. But in case you are interested, I do have a video where I give you a full breakdown of what happened, the text messages that were released, what was going on with Marvel. So all you have to do is go to my channel and you can go check this out. And it's going to tell you everything and get you caught up to this point. Okay? It's going to get you caught up. It's going to give you all the perspectives and all of that. So just to kind of give a brief summation, he was accused by a woman for attacking him or attacking her, and the bruises or the wounds or whatever she had, she went to the police, and fast forward all of the things that he said, she said, the police have filed charges. I'm sorry, the DA, the district attorney. Now, just to clear something up for people, the district attorney can file charges regardless of what the alleged victim says. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I want people to understand that. And let me kind of give you an example, because people are saying, but wait, the woman in the situation recanted her statement. She said, it's all good. I'm nothing, right? That doesn't matter. Let me give you an example. If you have a child that shows up at school with bruises coming from home, it doesn't matter if the child says, no, I'm fine, it wasn't my parents. Guess what's going to happen? Child Protective Services are still going to go over to that house and do an investigation. And if they find anything even worse, they're going to press charges and take the kid away. In a similar way, if a person says they're involved in an altercation and they go to the police, and guess what? If the police see bruises, nicks, and all these wounds or whatever, it doesn't matter what the person says at that point. Because when they have that evidence, they're going to say, we have enough to basically put this on, to file charges. So that's the situation that Jonathan Majors is currently in. Right now, the DA, the district attorney of Manhattan, I believe, has seen enough evidence to say, nope, charges. Yes, he was arrested. He was also, released, but he has a court date. I believe the court date currently is May 8th, right? Now, in the midst of all this, his lawyers have come out and be like, yo, we got text messages, we got witnesses, we got video. He ain't do nothing. Okay. Now we've seen the text messages, and just to kind of give you, I'm not going to go over the whole text message, but the text messages were not as good as they'd hoped, because unfortunately right now, Jonathan Majors has to go through two different courts. He's got to go through the legal court and also the court of public opinion. And right now, the text messages that were his evidence were not good enough to sway the majority of people's opinions. Because unfortunately, the way the text message read off, and by the way, go back to my video and I would go through the whole text message. It sounded like a textbook abused victim. And I was just saying this before, again, I don't have a real opinion on whether he's guilty or not because I need more information. But based off of the text messages, the most disturbing thing and the most problematic thing is that she still acknowledged that she had wounds and or injuries. That's why it's still not a good look. Because even if nothing happened, you still have to figure out, where did the injuries come from? Injuries just don't manifest, right? So that's why people, when they say those texts didn't help, that's why, right? And not to mention, a lot of victims in domestic violence, they recant their statements anyway out of fear of their potential abusers. That happens. So again, I'm not saying Jonathan Majors did anything. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying these are the things we know in cases like this. Since that point, a lot of people have been talking about, is Jonathan Majors going to be recast as Kang, whatever. So far, the news that we got was that Marvel had meetings, but nothing has moved forward. Okay, cool. We had heard about Jonathan Majors being dropped by the army. They had some ad that they used him in. They stepped back. Basically, they're trying to do some wait and see type of stuff. I also kind of understand that. I get it. Was there anything else? There was a lot to this story. I apologize. So he had that, but now, fast forward now, we still don't have any video or anything, at least not to the public. But things were starting to get worse for Jonathan Majors in terms of the optics. And one of the things that happened not a couple days ago was that Jonathan Majors and his manager and the PR firm that was working with him basically parted ways. And they left him. Talent manager Entertainment 360 has dropped Jonathan Majors, several sources tell Deadline. Majors' representation problems don't stop with just his management. The PR firm, the leading company, also initiated a break with Avengers actor in the last month. Majors and fashion house Valentino mutually agreed that the actor would not be attending this year's Met Gala as one of its guests. And Deadline did confirm that, there have been no conversations in the Marvel camp to drop him from the MCU. So far, he's fine in Marvel. He is also expected to appear before a judge May 8th as he faces multiple counts of harassment and assault from the New York City DA. Now, again, this did not help. Getting dropped by your management and getting dropped by your PR company is not a good look. And I'll tell you why. We have not gotten to the court case yet. The judge, none of that has happened yet. However, your manager and the PR folks, they have one job. Their job is to basically make sure you look good. Their job is to make sure that you remain a viable client. Their job is to make sure that, they protect everything around you. So when we found out that Jonathan Majors got dropped by the PR firm and by his manager, this was not like a mutual thing, like, oh, okay, let's just part ways. That's not how it was reported. That's not what it was said. It said that they dropped him, which means maybe a couple things, which is they probably know more to this story than we do. Maybe they seen something. Maybe they know something. Maybe they heard something. Whatever it is, they said this top talent, this person that's been in high demand, whatever it is, even with evidence, whatever testimony, whatever other stuff, we gonna take this money maker. We don't want him. We want to step away from that. This is, again, it doesn't matter whether he's been innocent or guilty before court, because we haven't even gotten there yet. They've parted ways and they didn't even wait until the aftermath, right? In the middle of the heat, they was like, we're good. And again, that is just not a good look. I don't think it's an indictment of guilt, but it's not a good look, because I told y'all he's fighting two different courts: court in the legal sense and court in public opinion. Just think of it on a social level. If you start seeing people distance themselves from somebody, you like, ooh, no, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that person. Leper, right? So again, that's not a good look. That his management, the people that are supposed to be, like, whenever they talk about actors and be like their team, that's the team. The manager and the PR company, that is the team. His team left him. If your team ain't got your back, again, that's not a good look. Now, he did mutually agree to part with the Met Gala thing. I totally get that. However, this is not where it ends, right? Like, yeah, okay, you didn't get your team left you, but now what does that mean for your movies? What does that mean for all the other ads and stuff that you're doing? Unfortunately, when it rains, it pours. There's a domino effect. Because Hollywood's wariness of Jonathan Majors grows, the actor is no longer starring in all these different movies and ad campaigns. It says here that Jonathan Majors has been dropped from a slew of projects we hear on good authority, including Protagonist Pictures' feature adaptation of the Walter Mosley novel, The Man in My Basement, an ad campaign for the Texas Rangers, the MLB Major League Baseball team, as well as an unannounced fifth season's Otis Redding biopic, which the actor was supposed to headline. It says here that Majors was set to star and executive produce The Man in My Basement under his production company, but a replacement for Majors is already underway. They're already recasting. Following Majors' arrest, the Texas Rangers had to pivot away from Majors in their 2023 season and ad campaign. And by the way, Majors grew up in Dallas, Texas. And then it also says Majors was kicking the tires of the fifth season project early in the works, entitled Otis and Zelma, which has the full support of Otis Redding's estate. But Majors is no longer under consideration for the film. Again, he's still okay with Marvel so far. And also, it says that Majors is also currently set to re-team with Spike Lee on Amazon Studios' The Understudy and to play Dennis Rodman and Lionsgate's 48 Hours in Vegas. So he hasn't lost everything, but there is a domino effect happening and people are kind of sort of moving away, right? The picture's not getting any better. It sucks because, in my opinion, I would sit here and think to myself, like, well, wouldn't you want to wait and see? Because when you sit here and, like, we haven't even gone to court yet, we don't know what's going to happen. But a lot of these companies and studios are like, nah, we're good. We're going to move forward. And he's losing a lot of ads and a lot of ad campaigns, right? So that's a lot of money. It's hurting his pockets. So he's lost his team. He's losing these projects. And there was one thing I told y'all in my video when I was doing the breakdown that could only get worse. Because when the Jonathan Majors stuff was happening, at that time, we also had mention from two directors, right? From Broadway plays or whatever. And these two directors was like, yo, I know people who know Jonathan Majors or who dated him or whatever. And these people are saying that Jonathan Majors is trash. These people are saying he is abusive. They're saying that he is problematic. They're like, yo, thank goodness his behavior can come to a stop. Now, I told y'all that I did not pay too much attention to that because it was hearsay. These are people that say, I know somebody who knows somebody who is, da 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 da. These were not first-hand accounts. And because of that, it is what it is. And none of these things that they were saying, as a matter of fact, one of these directors that said this acknowledged that he was not talking about anything physical. He was like, no, none of the abuse I talked about. It wasn't like Jonathan Majors was going upside people's heads. It was more psychological, emotional abuse, and unprofessionalism. And again, to me, I'm like, okay, all of that stuff could be true, but it's not illegal to be a jerk. Maybe Jonathan Majors is a jerk. I don't know him personally, but maybe the people that do know that maybe he is a jerk. I don't know. Maybe he is terrible to work with. I don't know. But none of that is illegal. But nevertheless, the mere fact that, these directors were even saying this stuff about him, again, he's fighting two courts, didn't help in the court of public opinion. No, it's not illegal in the legal sense. He ain't do nothing there with their accusations, but it's not helping with the public perception. But even with that, I've told y'all straight up, I was like, look, I don't care about what they're saying because, I believe you, but I'm not going to go beyond taking into consideration, right? When they say, oh, we have to believe the victims, for me, what that means is I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to take it seriously. But at the same time, I'm going to need you to come with something more before we can really pass judgment. Because right now it's just hearsay. So one of the most problematic things that I said, though, was the biggest problem that could come up for Jonathan Majors is if more people stepped up. If the people that you said he messed around or abused or whatever, if they come forward, that will be the bigger issue. And unfortunately, that's what happened. The plot thickens, and unfortunately, more alleged abuse victims stepped up, and they're cooperating with the DA's office. It says here, sources familiar with the matter tell Variety that multiple alleged abuse victims of Jonathan Majors have come forward following his March arrest and are cooperating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The prospect of more women waiting in the wings could mark a dramatic turn in the case and comes on the heels of Majors' publicist and management firm cutting ties with the embattled actor earlier this week. And like I said, even like the text messages and stuff that didn't really work out for him, somebody close to the situation said it read like a bad Lifetime movie. They basically look like the text messages from a textbook abused woman. And this is somebody that was working with Jonathan Majors on an upcoming project. Now, before we go on, let me just talk about this a little bit more. This is the nightmare. This is the problem for Jonathan Majors, having more people step up and more people say, yo, he's a problem. Now, a lot of people have jumped to the conclusion. Now, I've said this does not look good. It does not look good, right? You got the fact that he's dropped by his team, and then you got the fact that he's dropped by his management. Then you see he is losing projects, and now you see there are more people working with the DA that are also claiming to be victims. It's not a good look. That's a lot of bad news on your side. Now, I think because we don't know what these victims are victims of. And I think that's the point that you have to think about. That's the point that matters. Victims of what? Did he hit you? Was he violent? Was it just, again, him just being a jerk? Those are valid things that we need to know. Because if these victims are coming forward, it depends on how and what they're coming forward with. If they're coming forward just to back up, yes, and I'm just speculating, I don't know, but if they come up and say to the DA, yeah, he's got anger management issues, he yells, he loses his temper, he's mean, he's this and that. If they go and do that, okay, and again, I am not a legal expert, so please take this with a grain of salt. That sounds more like they are going to be brought in as character witnesses, right? They will come in as support for the DA's case against Jonathan Majors to really be like, yeah, he's a bad guy and he had the potential and capability based off of his character traits to do this stuff that they're accusing him of. So maybe that's what these other victims are there for. On the flip side, they could also be coming to press additional charges. I think if they're coming to press more charges, that will be the biggest problem. And I'll tell you why. The reason why it won't even matter if Jonathan Majors is guilty or not. If he has to deal with, and we don't know how many people there are, but if he has to deal with multiple people pressing multiple charges against him, there's a good chance he's going to have to settle multiple cases. For my football fans out there, just look at Deshaun Watson, okay, in that situation. And what I'm saying, though, is even if all the evidence in the world from Jonathan Majors' attorney comes out and says, you know what, this one lady that started it all, he is completely innocent. And look, the video is better than anything. Oh my God, it shows that he is innocent. He's still going to have to deal with them other accusers. They're going to have to prove their cases. He's going to have to prove the innocence. That's going to be a lot of money going around. That's your name in the headlines negatively. Like that could be a career killer. That could be a career killer, even if he settles. And you know, just like I do, in the court of public opinion, settlements, usually people think you still did it. Now, that's not always the case. That's not always the case, because sometimes people will settle in court for financial reasons. So, for example, if someone has 20 different cases or whatever, well, them 20 different cases, the lawyers on the victim side might be working pro bono. Well, if they work in pro bono, you still got to pay your lawyer. And your lawyer got to face them 20 cases. If it's 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, that's $100 million. Whereas it ain't no cost for the victims. They could do this all day, just like Cap. So now it might be cost prohibitive for you to just sit there and be like, you know what? Let me just settle. I know it's not perfect. I know I'm innocent, but let me just settle. Because if I go and to trial for all of these things, I'm gonna have to pay my lawyer more money. And sometimes they either don't have as much money or it's just not worth the battle. And again, if they settle, it's still not a good look. So the fact that these other accusers have come into the picture, it does add more problems for Jonathan Majors. It's definitely not a good situation. And like I said, it depends on what they have to say. Are they just there for character witnesses? If they are, I think then all he has to do is prove himself innocent in this one situation and it's done. All of their testimony, all of that stuff goes away. You still gonna have that public opinion, but that's a better situation compared to I got to deal with multiple victims and multiple cases. That will be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. There's more to this story. In this same article that talks about the multiple victims, we get more details as well. We also found out that Disney has an added wrinkle to this alleged victim in the Manhattan incident. They also worked on this year's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, a film with which Majors was billed. So, in other words, this woman who kicked it all off and who is, the center of this, they worked together. Now, that is definitely a wrinkle because now you talking about another Disney / Marvel employee that Jonathan Majors might have been involved with. This could also be a reason why Marvel / Disney is kind of being like, hold on. Because if they rush to the defense of Jonathan Majors, it's going to be at the expense of this other employee, this other female employee. And if they rush to the defense of her and not him, like they got two people, they got other components involved. So it's complicated for Marvel now and Disney. On a separate note, Majors is stepping down from the board of the Gotham Film and Media Institute and his work with the Sidney Poitier Initiative, which was created to support emerging filmmakers. So he is stepping down. Here's one other thing. Jonathan Majors is also supported by WME. That's the last, group or firm that is part of his team. That's the last people that are like representing him. So we have an update with that. It says, as of now, WME is still representing Majors. In 2018, the agency created a so-called Client Advisory Committee, which makes a recommendation on whether or not to drop a client accused of impropriety. The committee of some 20 staffers, split evenly among gender lines from cross-section of divisions, evaluates a client's ability amid accusations and considers such factors as if the client has been charged criminally and is facing a civil lawsuit. So again, they evaluate the situation as if they are accused and charged criminally. WME has previously dropped such clients as Brett Ratner, Bryan Singer, and Armie Hammer. The committee has not met yet regarding Majors based on the limited information that is available. Whew. So, and this is, something else. Somebody else said this. I think the truth is everyone is waiting to see what Marvel will do. And this is according to an industry insider familiar with the situation. It doesn't mean everyone is going to do the same thing, but that's what people are looking to. So even that last stand of his team, even that last stand, they have not even met yet about his situation. And the fact that they have met and dropped people, I forget what happened with Brett Ratner, but Bryan Singer, Google Bryan Singer. The guy that did X-Men, he's involved in a lot of stuff. Not so good stuff. Army Hammer? The dude that was accused of wanting to eat people? The dude that now is selling timeshares in the Bahamas? They dropped him too. So it looks like they're waiting on more information, which I think is great. Like, I think, again, wait for all the facts to come out and then go ahead and, act accordingly. But that's all he's got going for him right now. Now, with all of that said, we still have a plot twist. And that's new evidence. New evidence has come to light over the last couple days. And a lot of people have been saying, like, yo, when is the lawyer gonna drop the video? When is this gonna happen? Like, what's up? You say you had a witness, you say you had text messages, you say you had video. What's going on? I already told y'all the text messages that they did release, at least just those, were not very compelling. It did not help his case. Now, that does not mean in totality, with all the evidence, that they won't be helpful. I'm just saying the fact that they dropped just that to the public or whatever, it's not helping. But we have new evidence, and this could be a plot twist, right? This could literally change everything if it plays out the way that it is. It could change everything. So let's kind of go over it, because I've seen a couple people go over some things and not really report it accurately. So let's go through it detailed here. Now, Major's attorney has filed evidence with a New York court that appears to show the accuser was uninjured out on the town after fighting and parting ways with the Creed 3 star the night of the alleged incident. In her complaint about the face with an open hand, in the complaint, the victim said that Major struck her about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear. So she's saying in the complaint, according to the victim, that that Major slapped her or something with an open hand, and that's what caused some sort of wound behind her ear. Major's attorney said, challenged the assistant district attorney, Kelly Galloway's request for a court date later than May 8th. The attorney presented evidence, and she said had been given to the attorney, to the DA for review. The evidence shows Major's accuser seemingly unharmed in the hours after the two parted company. So in other words, after Majors and the victim, the alleged victim, parted ways, they went their separate ways, the attorney is saying, hey, the alleged victim went out to go party, right? And the other thing the lawyer says, alleges that in the court filing, that after attacking her client and allegedly tearing Majors' clothes between midnight and 1 a.m. on March 25th, the accuser went clubbing, got drunk, sent Mr. Majors angry text messages accusing him of infidelity, sent a suicide note to Mr. Majors, took a bunch of sleeping pills, and then 11 hours later was found alone in a locked bedroom, unconscious on the floor of a closet with a cut behind her ear and a broken finger. And they're saying, we have provided irrefutable evidence to the DA that the charges are false. Listen, I'm going to say this. We don't know the whole story, but the way things were reported when this first story happened, it didn't come out with all those details. Okay? Again, we don't have all the facts. I'm just saying, this sounds like two different stories now. Because the way it was presented the first time we heard this, they jumped into a cab. She accused him of cheating. She lunged for his phone, and something, I guess some fight happened. They got out the cab, taxi, Uber. Jonathan Majors called the police. She went up to the police, told them that she was hurt. She went to the hospital. Then the police came back and was like, we're going to press charges. That's the way it was presented at first. But now the lawyers are coming in saying like, yo, we got times, dates, text messages, angry text messages. So this is not matching up with how it was initially reported. So again, for a lot of the people that were just going off of how it was going on, reported the first time, this is why we really need to wait on information. And I'm not saying that the lawyer is telling the truth. I'm just saying they're presenting another story. And in any type of situation like this, they're coming with evidence. They're saying, we can show you the timeline of events. We can prove it with text messages. We can prove it with witness testimony, and we can prove it with video. I mean, that's compelling to hear. I mean, you're talking about drugs. You're talking about now Jonathan Majors was the one that was the victim. Like, he was the one that was being attacked. He was the one that was being assaulted. You're talking about a person that was, going to his house or going to his apartment and, being all up in his bed and all this stuff. Like, it's kind of an issue here, right? So let's keep going because there's more. The lawyer goes on to say stills were taken from security footage, camera footage, and submitted to the court to appear to show the accuser at the bar between 1:55 and 3:06. So this is after supposedly they met or they departed ways. The security stills appear to show the accuser at the bar with two uninjured hands as she sorts through the credit cards and signs a receipt. The lawyer goes on to say she told the court that the driver of the car where the two allegedly fought would testify that it was the accuser that attacked Majors that night. And they also said that this happened between midnight and 1 a.m. Okay, so allegedly, whatever fight happened between midnight and 1 a.m., according to this lawyer. But they also saw the clubbing and the other stuff between 1:55 and 3:06 a.m. Man, they got that down to the minute. According to the lawyer, Majors jumped out of the car and ran away, witnessed by the driver and three people standing in the street. Then he hailed a taxi and went to a hotel. The letter says he didn't see the accuser again until after 11 a.m. when he returned home and called a handyman to unlock his bedroom door. Once inside, the letter says Majors found the woman unconscious on the floor of a closet. This, like I said, this is getting thick. It's getting very, very interesting. Now, I know some of y'all want to know more, and we do have a couple more. We got images. We got pictures now, So here's what happened. And that's why I said it's good to get more information before jumping on any side of the argument. But we got some pictures now. So Jonathan Majors in the video, the witness proves I didn't strike my ex-girlfriend. She went clubbing after the incident. Now, let me just actually, let's go through it. I'll go through it first. According to the documents obtained by TMZ, okay, so TMZ got their hands on stuff. The driver saw the woman assault Majors around 1 a.m. while she was attempting to steal his phone. Furthermore, Majors says that the driver will, the attorney says that the driver will testify that he never struck the alleged victim in any way at any time or even raised his voice. Majors and his attorney also say the driver saw her hitting, scratching, and attacking Jonathan, and that Jonathan asked the driver to stop the car so he could escape her attack, which he did. The woman allegedly told police that she suffered a broken finger and a laceration behind her ear during the altercation. And this is the part that I've already seen people taking out of context, because some people have said, oh, well, just because she went to party, that's not a bad thing. That's not what the case has said, right? Because I've seen people talking online trying to make it seem as though Jonathan Majors' lawyer was trying to paint this victim, in a bad light by saying, well, you say that you got abused, but then you went out clubbing. That's not what's being said. What the lawyer is trying to prove in this situation is saying that, look, the victim said that she had a broken finger. That's what the lawyer's saying. The lawyer's saying, look at what she said. The victim said she had a broken finger on her right hand. Okay, well, if you have a broken finger, according to this to Major's lawyer, how are you able to do this stuff with your right hand? You over there getting drinks. You over there partying and clubbing. You over here swiping your credit card. What's going on with your hand that supposedly was injured? That is what the lawyer is saying. The lawyer is not saying that just because she went clubbing, therefore she was not abused. That's not what she was saying. That's not, I know people only read the headlines and just go off of that. What she's saying is, if the victim was correct about having a broken finger, how are you doing all this stuff in the club? How are you popping bottles? How are you swiping cards? How are you doing this with a broken finger? I mean, if my hand is broke, I can't be like, oh, here go my jam. Do. I can't do that if my hand is broke. Now, you can still go clubbing. You can still go partying. You can still go do all that other stuff. But if you say your hand was broke because of that situation and people see you out here otherwise, that compromises the other story. Now, again, this is the case that Jonathan Majors' lawyer is making, okay? Because at the end of the day, whenever it's a he said, she said type of thing, it's up to whoever to prove it. You got to support your case, right? So, because of this broken finger that apparently the lawyers are saying is not so broken, Major's court case filings include screenshots of security video showing the woman freely using her right hand, which she claimed Majors had injured. In the videos, they say she clearly pushes her hair behind her right ear, reaches into her bag several times, sorts through credit cards, handles phones, holds a menu, and easily holds a glass of champagne. They say she was seen partying pretty hard, throwing back shots and champagne with friends without any visible sign of injury. When her night out at the club was over, they claimed she showed up at Major's home at 3:23 a.m., entered his apartment, and called him 32 times and sent several angry, jealous text messages. Majors was not home when she got there. Goes on to say, they say Majors got home at 11:13 a.m. and found her unconscious and half naked on the floor on his walk-in closet. He also discovered she allegedly threw up in his bed and told him she had taken a few sleeping tablets. Majors then called 911 and claimed when paramedics arrived, the woman repeatedly told them, "I don't know," when they asked her what happened to her. Now, once again, the lawyer in this case, now don't get me wrong, the lawyer dropping them text messages did not help. But these are things that the lawyer has issued to the district attorney. So what TMZ is telling us right now, these are all the things in the court documents. So the lawyer has basically said, here's a timeline of everything that happened. Here's how it happened, when it happened, why it happened, and this is how we can support and corroborate that it happened. So when we talked about the text messages, the new evidence that they're talking about is there are more evidence. There's more texts. And if there are more texts, what does that mean? There are timestamps. And in the text messages that were revealed, one of the things that was kind of concerning was she had mentioned that she had collapsed. Now, we didn't know when she collapsed. We didn't know why she collapsed. We didn't know how she collapsed. But that was the reason why Jonathan Majors, called 911. But according to all of this, Jonathan Majors wasn't even around when she collapsed, supposedly. So, again, we're getting a lot of information filled in based off of what we heard before to where we are now. This is looking like, at least from the lawyer side of things, a completely different situation. And we see here, that's her, I'm assuming with the paramedics. And it gets even worse. In the document, Major's lawyer claims body cam footage shows police interviewing the woman and clearly coaching her to say that Majors grabbed her by the throat. Release the body cam footage. The police were coaching her. And if all the other stuff was true, what did we just read? What did I just read? Hold on. Look at this once again. Majors called 911 and claimed when the paramedics arrived, the woman repeatedly told them, "I don't know," when asked what happened to her. Now, again, I'm not casting no judgment. Maybe she is a victim of abuse. I don't know. Maybe she was afraid. Maybe she didn't want to tell on Jonathan. I get that, because that could happen legitimately to abuse victims. But if it's also true that you were under the influence of these sleeping drugs or whatever, maybe she wasn't in her right state of mind. I don't know. But if she's collapsing, she's throwing up, she's drunk, she might have drugs in the system. And then if it is true that the police were coaxing her into saying that Jonathan Majors did something that maybe he didn't, because the police don't know. When the police show up, they don't know what happened before. The police can only go off of what they see and what they are told. If they see wounds on her neck, on her ear, whatever, if they see that, they're going to be like, yo, this looked like domestic violence to me. I can't blame them. If I walk in and I see somebody have a black eye and they pass out, I'm gonna be like, yo, something definitely happened here. Might not be what I think it is, but I'm going to have enough reason to think this is an issue. So now, again, if what the lawyer's saying true, she was drunk, she had drugs in the system, she was already sick, whatever. If those things are true, and if the police are dealing with a confession that was under the influence, again, because of New York law, they had to arrest somebody. That's just the way the law is. They had to arrest somebody in that situation because the way it looked and probably how it sounded, it looked like textbook domestic violence. But they said there was body cam footage. I need to see that footage. The taxi cab or the Uber, whoever, that footage, because if they parted ways after the taxi, and like if you didn't have a broken hand, if you didn't have wounds in the taxi, and if y'all parted ways and he didn't see you, he checked in somewhere. I'm sure there's a timestamp where he did, checked in somewhere else. If he did not do anything in that time, and if witnesses corroborate that, and for that 3-hour gap, 2-3-hour gap, you were out clubbing. Who knows what was happening when you was clubbing? And then on top of that, Jonathan Majors didn't see you until 11 o'clock the next day, or like later that day. So I'm just saying, this can go in a lot of different ways. It sounds like, according to the attorney, and the attorney's been saying this from the very beginning, Jonathan Majors didn't touch nobody. Jonathan Majors didn't hit nobody. Jonathan Majors is actually the victim. And yeah, like, we got video, we got witnesses, we got text messages, we got timestamps, we got videos and screenshots. So far, again, just going off of what we've seen, that looks pretty compelling. I'm not going to dismiss the possibility that maybe he did it. I'm not going to dismiss it, but I'm also not going to dismiss a lot of this evidence that this lawyer has put forward too. That's a lot of stuff that fills in a lot of gaps that we didn't have. Now, I still am reserving judgment because I still believe there's still more to the story that we don't know. But I do think that if he truly did not touch her in the cab, and if he does, and if the body cam footage from the police, which I'm sure they're going to have to release that, and I want to hear these witness testimonies. I think the more we hear these things, and if they hold up, at that point, it is going to be on the burden of proof is going to have to be on the DA, because the lawyer's already given all of this stuff. So we're only reading about what TMZ saw from the documents that the lawyers already gave to the DA. So what does that mean? The DA, now that they got all this evidence, now that they got this witness testimony, now that they know all the cards that the DA, that Major's witness lawyer, they know all the cards that the other side is going to play. The DA gonna be like, okay, let me look at my cards now. All right, I got past abuse victims. Now, again, we don't know what they're gonna say or not. We got the victim's testimony, even though she kind of recanted, but again, that doesn't really matter. Maybe there are hospital records, but at the end of the day, the DA is gonna have to figure out, does my hand of evidence that is going to accuse Jonathan Majors of domestic violence, is my hand stronger than this full house, than this pair of aces, than this, I don't know, 4 of a kind that the lawyer has laid down? Do I have a royal flush? I don't know. But, whoo, guys, this needs to be a movie. I'm just saying, like, this could be a movie, because where this goes, nobody knows. But at the same time, my goodness, it's because again, we don't know what the DA's got. We don't know what the other victims have said. I told you, it's gonna get worse if they start filing multiple charges, because even if you beat one case, now you got more cases to beat. That's never a good look. But for this isolated incident, at least Jonathan Majors, listen, his lawyer's doing work. Some of y'all was giving that lawyer some crap, okay? I didn't want to say nothing, but some of y'all was giving that lawyer some crap, saying that the lawyer was messing him up, was not doing the right move. Listen, the lawyer got, it looked like the lawyer got everything in line. Now, again, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. But in terms of a case, in case of the timestamps, the evidence, the witnesses, the text messages, the videos. It sounds like a lot. Now the question now is, what happens after this? I don't know. I mean, if Jonathan Majors is found guilty, if the evidence proves to be overwhelming, I'm gonna just have to be like, you know what? If you did the crime, bro, you got to do the time. Like, I don't care how much of a fan I am of yours. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We just have to go with justice, right? However, if the man is innocent, if the evidence proves his innocence, I'm gonna need every single one of them projects, all them ads, all them everything to come back and put this man back in the good graces. Because that will not be fair. And if he is proven innocent here, I'm gonna need nobody to sit here and drag him like who was it? Nate Parker. That's not cool. Because if a court, which has way more information than we have, by the way, as the public, if a court can find someone innocent, and I'm not talking about like some technicality. I'm not talking, because like R. Kelly was found innocent, but we knew he wasn't innocent, right? He was innocent because someone just didn't show up to testify against him. So I'm not talking about innocent like that. I'm talking about like if there's irrefutable proof that somebody did not do something, then I'm gonna need you to keep the same energy that you had beforehand. Texas Rangers, y'all go put that ad back on. Army, go put that man back on. Any of those other movies that haven't moved on to recap, go get that man and give him his due right back. If he's proven completely innocent. Because we cannot live in a society where just being accused of something is going to give you the taint of being guilty, especially when you've already proven your innocence. That's not cool. That's not okay. And I'll tell you why that's not okay, because you wouldn't want to be judged that way. You would never want someone to just come out of nowhere, make a crazy accusation about you, and when even though you are 115 million% innocent, you would not want people to still keep dragging you for that thing that wasn't true in the first place. You would not want that. And we should not cultivate a society like that. Now, I'm not saying that we need to automatically give and assume everybody's perfect. I'm just saying we have to go with what we know and we have to judge with what we have. Because for all we know, I don't know, somebody could be a straight up axe murderer in their basement. I don't know that. Until we get the evidence to say otherwise, I'm going to judge people by what they say and what they do and what evidence is presented in front of us. Not going to speculate. I'm not going to be like, he was innocent this time, but what if he wasn't innocent? I mean, okay, look, if there are more accusations, come forward. Let's do it. Let's let justice serve. But that justice being served has to go both ways. If you're going to have that energy to prosecute somebody because they did something wrong, you better have that same energy to get justice to go the other way and defend them if they're proven innocent. It has to go both ways, or else we don't have true justice. End of the day, I hope justice is served, whether it's for the victim or whether it's for Jonathan Majors. I hope justice is served, and that's all we need. That's all we need. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much. Please let me know what you think about the Jonathan Majors situation. Feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. And we will get into that a little bit more until this finally resolves. All right. I think I got a hell of a lot of comments I got to go through. So let me go through them and grab them. Me in 3 hours, boy, I tell you, I really try not to set out for this long. I want you to know that. I hope y'all know that, because I really do respect y'all time. I want to make sure y'all know that when it comes to keeping y'all here. I try to make it as efficient as possible, try to give y'all whatever I can, however I can, at least keep it entertaining. But I do respect y'all time. So I want y'all to at least know that it's not intentional. But let me go up. Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to grab these chats here. Man, that was a lot. And my mouth all dry. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Who we got? I think I saw Rims. Thank you so much. We got fam. Check your cash. Oh, snaps. Peep showing you love. Oh, okay. Look, listen. I've been in the zone, y'all. I haven't been even looking at my phone. Okay, hold on. Let me check this out. Man, the wife even texted me. Hold on now. Okay. Give me a second. I'll be so focused on like giving y'all the news, and I want to make sure y'all know stuff. Derek Gaines, brother, thank you so much for the $5 cash app, man. Really appreciate it. What do you say here? For ads are cutting into your live, Thanos Cut. Yeah, that's a YouTube thing. That's a YouTube thing. I guess it's just a way for the lives to make YouTube and I guess creators more money, but thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. I think that's it. I think. Okay, got that. I want to make sure I ain't leave nobody. Okay. All right, good. All right, because I don't be looking at I don't always look at my phone. I try to give y'all my undivided attention right here. Let's see, Trey, what you got? Aiden Turner or Sam Witwer as Dr. Doom. I think they'll use flashbacks to show Doom and the Thing actors' faces. Yeah, that could work. I don't know, Sam. Let me see. Hold on. Sam Witwer. Sure. Let's look. I mean, he got a Dr. Doom looking face. He does look like a villain. What did he play? I don't know what he played. Was that the dude from The Mist? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. I guess. Who's the other one you said? Aiden Turner. Let me see. Aiden Turner. Well, he do look a little. Yeah. I don't know. He look a little too clean to me. Look a little too clean. He does got that little broody look. I'd go with the other guy. I think Sam would probably be a little bit better. But not bad. Not bad picks at all. Thank you so much for that, Trey. I appreciate you. Let's see. Who else? I'm moving. Give me a sec. JM, what you got? Blade, black man saving the world too. Yes. Listen, yes. Blade has been doing nothing but saving companies and the world from vampires for years now. Put some respect on that, please. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. There we go. Puma, what you got? Where were these people before? I believe they don't want a black man with 2 number 1 movies to be on top. The draw was too much for some people just to watch. So let me just kind of say this. We have to be very careful with things like this, because and I would encourage a lot of you to just do a simple Google search on this, right? Why don't abuse victims come forward? Guys, I can't tell you enough. This is a very common thing. Okay, if you're not familiar with how domestic violence works, if you're not familiar with these cases, it's not as clear cut as people want to make it seem. There are people that are abuse victims that don't know how to process the trauma. There are people that are abuse victims, like I know some, like personally, that have chosen not to come forward because maybe they don't want to deal with the backlash. Maybe they don't want to deal with reliving the trauma. Maybe they don't want to trigger the abuser. There are a lot of reasons why people who have been abused don't come forward. I think people have to also understand, if you are a victim of abuse, physical abuse, mental, emotional, psychological, it messes with you. It messes with you on a lot of different levels. You don't act the same like everybody else who has not been abused. Okay. It's life altering for some folks. It changes how people approach things. So, again, I think we need to be more like just respectful of the idea that, like, yo, it's not like if somebody gets raped or if they get abused that they're like, okay, I know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna take all that emotional baggage, all that mental baggage, I'm gonna throw it away, and I'm gonna go prosecute. I'm gonna file a lawsuit. I'm gonna go tell the police. I'm gonna go do, like, it doesn't work that way. It's not that simple. So, all these other victims, according to at least the other directors, they were just like, yo, they were just afraid. Because especially if you're going against somebody with power, if you're going with somebody, let's say you just from the little backwoods of whatever town, and you going against a big celebrity that's got money, fame, social media pressure, all this other stuff, you might not want that smoke. You might not want those issues. It's not that easy. So, when I see victims not take not jump and say something, I understand it is more complicated. It is more complicated. But thank you so much, Puma, for raising that, because I'm pretty sure other people were thinking the same thing, But again, just keep that in mind. It's complicated. It's very, very complicated. Zia, thank you so much. Whether innocent or guilty, his image is tainted. The allegations alone took away a lot of that thing he had going that made most people like him, and especially women. It's very hard to get that back. That is unfortunately 100% accurate. That is so true, and it's sad. It's very true and sad because, like I said, the court of public opinion, they don't need as much evidence as a legal court does. Just the mere fact this man got in the news made people turn on him immediately. That was all it took. Just the allegation by itself will make people say, nope, I'm done. They don't need no more information. Listen, that video could be clearer than OJ's glove not fitting, and it still won't make a difference. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a lot, and it's sad. It's sad. Again, I don't know where this is gonna go. I still don't know what evidence the DA has to compel them to even press charges, but one way or another, people have made up their minds. Again, it's a little unfortunate. I think it's always best for people to wait on the evidence. I'm just not one of those types that be like, oh no, they're guilty, and oh, they're 100% innocent. I'll be like, look, you in a situation. I'm not saying you guilty or not. I'm just saying you in a situation. I'm not gonna jump on nothing. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, let me know more. That's my official position. Let me know more. Let me get some more info, and then I like to be informed. It's weird because I was having this conversation with people online, and people was just like, oh, well, how come you're not just defending him and doing this? And I'm like, because I don't know. Like, I was brought up to believe that, make decisions that are well informed. That's what I would want people to do with me. Hear my whole story, see all my evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just assume or no, just get the facts. Thank you so much, Zia. I appreciate you so much. Baby Toshiro, what's up? E-Man, I still think Mr. Major's lawyer needs the boot, but I'll keep an open mind. Sure, maybe. And here's the thing. Once again, we still don't know the full picture. We don't know every single thing. We just got a report of what the lawyer presented. We don't have those documents. We don't have the text messages. We don't have the video. These are all things the lawyer did. Okay, so just keep in mind, and I'm glad you're keeping an open mind. I think that's very important. We're getting not even the top layer stuff. We're getting the second, it's surface level stuff. We are relying on what a reporter said when they read the information. That's all we really have. So maybe if you were a juror, right? Like, I don't know if any of y'all have done jury duty. By the way, you should do jury duty. But when you're a juror in a court case, they give you everything. There be so much stuff that they give you as a juror to like help you make up your mind on the court case. And it's funny because if you've ever served on jury duty, there are different rules in a courtroom. Like the judge could be like, yo, don't even look at the text messages. Make your judgment based off of the text messages that this came through, but not those. Maybe, I don't know. I'm making something up. But let's say the text messages that were released to the public. The judge might be like, nope, that's compromised. Everybody's seen those. They don't count. Well, now as a juror, you have to make up your mind and act like that don't exist. So again, lawyers, Major's lawyer could have presented a ton of other things that we don't know. A lot of statements we haven't heard yet. But so I can't judge them based off of the little things that are reported. I would judge it more so on how they handle the case. Because think about it this also, for anyone, the lawyer is not your PR manager. They're not there to deal with your public relations like that. They could do a little bit of that, but that's not their primary job. Their primary job is to make sure you don't go to court and get, put away to jail or prison. And that's their main focus, So yeah, I like you, I'm gonna keep an open mind, on this and see what happens. Dwight, respecting our time like you respect Anthony Mackie. Come on, man. I respect y'all time. Stop it. Here you go. Thank you, Dwight. Just My Opinion Reviews back at it. Please, can we get 400 likes and thumbs up? Oh, man. Yes. I don't know what the like count is at, but I'd appreciate that if y'all liked it, if y'all enjoyed it. Definitely would appreciate. By the way, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a like if you enjoy what you saw. If you what you had here, this was great. But thank you so much. Just My Opinions. I appreciate that. 60 plus, praying for that praying for you, that brother, that all things work out together for good. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's hope that everything does work out. Like I said, I'm praying more so for justice. I'm praying for that all this stuff just works itself out, whether it's for the victim or for the brother, whichever it is. Let the truth prevail and justice follow. But thank you so much for that. Rhaegar, what you got? The math in her story is not mathing. Also, the Washington Generals crushed it tonight. Just kidding. No spoilers today. That's not a real team, by the way. Thank you so much for that, Rhaegar. I appreciate you. And y'all should have watched the other live to get that joke. But thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for that support. What else do we have? I think we are done. All right, guys. All right. That is it. Thank you so much. As I have told y'all before, I am going to be working on my From breakdowns. The season starts on Sunday for season 2 of From. You can find it on Epix. You can find it on Amazon Prime. It's on the Roku channel. Actually, if you go to my video where I talk about the From challenge, in the description, I did post a link where you can watch From for free, no subscription or anything like that. And you can watch all of season 1 and you can catch up to find out why this is one of the best shows not enough people are talking about. So I appreciate y'all in advance. Thank you so much. You know the routine. In case you're new, please go wash your hands and wash your butts. It's just the right thing to do. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Continue commenting. Let me know what you think on all the topics we talked about tonight. And join me next week when we will be here again on Friday to talk about the news in the week. All right, y'all. Peace.